What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come talk some top 5 lists with us. Let's go. Let's go. This ain't the fuck night. Oh, this game he stink.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody, to the A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by Not That. Love when it sticks. That's what she said. We are brought to you by BetUS, and BetUS is the leading online sports book who's been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link right in our comment section over on YouTube. It's pinned over there, and over on Facebook, it is in our description. Use that promo link and get 125% sign-up bonus. Go use it, right? Get in there, win some money, and guess what? You become an A2D member, and Nate and Willie Vegas make you some money, and boom, boom, you're winning both ways. You're winning both ways. So, like always, Nate Moss, Noe Eaton, Greg Mwagvik, Frank Vaspi, Ralph Del Vecchio, Ryan Brutto. I'm Tom Arnone. The family out there, welcome in. We're going to be doing something a little different tonight because we still have 2 sleeps away from the anticipated debut of one James Harden. So we're right there. We're close. So we talked enough about this per se. So we're going to give you a little something different, some top 5 lists. We'll do the best and worst moves since 2000. Philadelphia's most hated list. That's always fun. That's a big list. I mean, that could go all night. You know what I mean? We don't have to worry about
that. Might be top 100.
Yeah, maybe add another 0 on there too.
Yeah, right.
Biggest what ifs. I mean, Ralphie, while we're at it, added a couple zeros to that one too. It might be 5,000 what ifs. And our main topic on top 5 list is going to be the most anticipated Philly debuts. Right, so we're going to do it over the last 20 years because everybody goes back that far. Right, there's nobody watching that doesn't go back at least 20 years when we're talking about anticipated debuts. And ties right into our poll question. Brought to you by Manscaped. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. From the weed whacker, the lawnmower, the ball deodorant, the body wash, the lip balm. All right, you get a little chappy, lip balm. Boom. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Greg, I knew you were doing it. That's why I went to the bomb. That's why I went to the bomb. Our poll question for tonight, James Harden will have the most anticipated Philly debut in the last 20 years. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, not live on Twitch. That's where all our gaming is. So if you're into some gaming, A2D's got gaming for you. Head over, subscribe, and follow our Twitch channel. All right, and the boys, Ralphie, Andy, and we'll have some more coming, are taking you through the gaming world. All right, you love Ralphie's reactions? Go dabble over on our Twitch. Also, everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Make sure you go over there, review, download, follow, and you follow us on all our social media platforms. To this poll, I know there's plenty of disagrees coming here. One with the guy like sort of right underneath of me. I'm going to agree, and there's reasons for it. You know, you can talk to me about Terrell Owens and totally understand it. That's one player on where 11 guys play on both sides of the football, right? 1 out of 22 guys. Huge addition, right? With that addition, we didn't have the best player on the planet on that football team, right? We didn't have Joel Embiid to pair him with, right? And I'm sure there's other anticipated, like, Carson Wentz's first debut was really anticipated. If you're talking about a guy we didn't go out and get, we drafted, that was anticipated. And obviously, anytime you draft a quarterback early in the first round, he's getting his first start, anticipated, right? We were all talking about, look at him killing at the line. He's so smart. He's so advanced for his age, right? All the stuff we were talking about. So obviously anticipated. Bryce Harper, anticipated. No questions about it. But anticipated to come in on a team that we knew wasn't there yet. So how much anticipation? Yeah, to see him play? Sure, of course, right? There really isn't a name that ties to anticipation like James Harden does because on who he's coming in here to play with and now what those expectations are, right? The expectations for the Eagles at that time were, to win a Super Bowl, but we were just trying to get through an NFC title game for once, right? Or we were just like, can we go dabble with a Super Bowl? Can we see how it feels? Would love to just hold one in my hand, right? And then whatever went that way, we were going to live with. Right, but we couldn't get over NFC title game humps. So for the Sixers, it's like when you talk about basketball and it's star-driven, right, and 5 guys are on the court at a time, when you add a star and you pair him with the best player on the planet, that's the most anticipated. I haven't witnessed more because this is an anticipation like none other. This is anticipation that you're talking about 2 or 3 times going down Broad Street, right? None of those other were anticipated like that. Yeah, Harper here for 42 years, but I don't think anybody with a straight face was going to sit there and say, here we come. No, because it's one player on a baseball team. There's so many more that matter. When you talk about the football, so many more matter, right? Hockey, so many more matter. In basketball, no. You're playing 9, 10 guys in the postseason, right? 10 if you're Doc. Everybody else is playing 8, right? But that's all you're playing, right? So the importance of a star, and we watch this through our history of watching the NBA, the importance of the stars like none other. None of these teams had Joel Embiid sitting there saying, come on. I've never been more excited. Like, I cannot wait. I wish we didn't have the All-Star break and a little bit of a delay because I wanted it right away. And then the anticipation of waiting for it has made me want it even more. With these other guys, we wanted it. Nobody's debating if these guys were anticipated or not. What I'm debating is none of them smell this. They don't even smell it. They were cool. They were great. They were big time. T.O.'s a Hall of Famer, one of the best. I get it. But you weren't pairing him with Joel. You're pairing him with Donovan. Big difference. So I agree to the poll. This is definitely anticipated. And everybody wants to see how it goes, right? I mean, Friday night is like almost like a playoff game, and you're playing the Timberwolves, right? You're playing the Timberwolves, and it's a playoff game because you just want to see how it all meshes together. I'm super excited for it. I think everybody out there should be. And, I expect a couple disagrees, but I need those people then to elaborate because I'm going to expose it then. And I know I need a lot of elaboration on what's more anticipated than titles. Because that's what you're anticipating. You're not anticipating the rival of James Harden. You're anticipating titles. None of these other ones, I anticipated titles outside of maybe T.O. Maybe T.O. anticipated a title.
Absolutely. T.O. Absolutely. And that time, that's where I was going to go. It's definitely T.O. I think we glamored, we whined, we cried, we begged. We did everything under the sun to say we needed a receiver. That was what we needed to get to the game. That was it. It was him. And then after the whole kind of he was going to the Ravens, and then he wasn't, and all that coming in, and then to come out on the first play, he throws it deep and he scores a touchdown. It was it. It was over. At that point, it was over for me. So it was absolutely T.O. This is a great basketball city. A great basketball city, but it will always be a football town.
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, no.
It's not fully true.
You can't say that. Always will be Philly.
I can say that. I don't know if this Eagles fan base sits through purposely tanking, going to watch Tony Roten. I don't know. So we're going to put some respect on what kind of basketball town this is because there ain't a town in America.
Coy wasn't years, though. Coy wasn't years. Coy was a few games. This is a basketball city. I'm sorry. This is a basketball city. The Eagles might be hot when they're good, but there's nothing like basketball in this city.
No, and you can thank Doc for that, and you can thank Allen Iverson for that, and you can thank Charles for that. Listen, this is big time basketball city. It's always overlooked.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. But if you had to rank them, we're going football first. Absolutely.
Maybe. I just don't know if I don't know if Eagles fans, because there's a lot of frauds out there, if they sit through purposely tanking. And I watch Sixers fans year in and year out, group messages with all my friends, everything, just talk about draft picks and players we liked on shit teams and the hope for more. And like, listen, I'm not. They're right there with each other, right? Because we love our sports in this city. They're right there with each other. Yeah. T.O. obviously brought a lot with him. Like, we finally got the receiver, like you said.
He brought everything with him. It was it. It was over.
He's not bringing who is he pairing up with that's the greatest in his sport?
Donovan at the time was a top 5 quarterback. At the time, he was considered a top 5 quarterback.
I would have to go back and look at all of them.
I'm not saying he was the best player in the league by far, but when you paired that up, it wasn't like it was, it wasn't like it might have been Kobe and Gasol. It wasn't Kobe and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was nice. Was it the ultimate, best 2 players, 2 MVP players playing with each other? I mean, you could argue that Donovan was an MVP candidate. You could argue that.
I'm not going to poo-poo Donovan ever. I'm not going to poo-poo Donovan ever because I love 5. I'm just saying there's a lot more that goes into it than just the quarterback and the wide receiver, right? So, like, we expected to get over a hump, right? And we did, and that was our expectations, and try to win one. And obviously it blew up in our face, right? And then the revisionist history almost hurts it, right? Like, if we didn't have revisionist history on it and both were happening at the same time, that'd be an easier conversation. But then we have the revisionist history on it, and we know how we know all about the push-ups and sit-ups in the driveway and everything that happened, and it almost puts a bad taste in our mouths as fans because we didn't get it. We got a piece, we got a taste. We didn't get the whole thing. Right? So that's the only reason. That's not fair. That's not a reason to say it's not the most anticipated. You know what I mean? It just almost hurts it because we know what happened. Right? With all the other ones,
we better get out of the second round then with these boys. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We better get out of the second round because T.O. at least got us to the dance. Now, he didn't play in the playoffs, right? And I think we got lucky with the matchups that we did going into the playoffs to get there. But at the same time, he put us as we were the best team in the league at that time, or second best.
Yeah, we were. We were hot.
You know what I mean? But it was no doubt, like the bodysuit with the touchdown record, all that. We loved every bit of it. And we were screaming, T.O., T.O., T.O. And we still do it when we see him. T.O. still gets love in this city.
No, rightfully so. Bailey said Jim Thome, interesting name. I mean, definitely felt like he brought baseball back for a half a minute. Anybody that said this not even close, like that's what I don't like. I don't like the comments where it's like definitely football town, not even close. Like, then you don't have the pulse. Like, I feel like I got the pulse of the city, and I'm always going to say that. Like, hockey is a niche thing here. It always has been. Okay, it's just the way it is. But it's a big-time baseball city. It's a big-time basketball city and a big-time football city. So don't tell me not even close. Not even close means not you, Nate, the person in the chat.
No, I'll call it. No,
not even close means
I agree with you.
It's football and everything else. Absolutely not. I've watched winning in this city from a baseball perspective and a football perspective. And I can tell you when the Phillies are good, this is a baseball town too. So I get Eagles airways because
it just doesn't dominate. Yeah, it just doesn't dominate the airways, right?
It doesn't dominate. It doesn't dominate the 3:00 drive time shows on the shit dial. Okay, that's what it doesn't drive. But for us that really do this and talk about it, I'll venture to guess that we talk is, I won't say baseball wise. I mean, I'll do it all day. But as a whole on A2D, I can tell you that basketball and football are talked about just as much as each other. They just are. Like, it's just the way it works. It's the way we always done it. And then baseball obviously gets talked a ton too when it's the season and we're rocking and rolling, but we just haven't had it. But if we were winning baseball games like we should, with stupid money, then guess what's driving the airways?
We've really never gotten a chance. That's the sad thing, Tom. Like, ever since A2D's been a thing, we haven't had good baseball. You know what I'm saying? So we've been kind of robbed of that. We really haven't been able to give it a chance.
It's all your fault.
I mean, we came close to, a postseason, but every single time there's always a late season collapse.
Was there a move in baseball, or was that fake that I saw? The dude from the Orioles, or was that fake? Okay, now all your faces just said it was fake. Okay,
Yeah, I don't think.
carry on.
What? The Orioles are still a team?
Carry on.
The Orioles did
Carry on.
something?
Carry on.
I wish it was real.
I thought I saw something that they made a trade for some dude named, I think his name was Mullins, maybe. But
Cedric Mullins is on the Orioles.
Carry on.
Nick Mullins, quarterback.
Carry on. Frank, cut that part when you do that.
I'll go real quick, and it's funny because I came into it and I kept telling myself I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. I don't want to get in the hype right now. But Tom, to your point from the open, I feel like the entire world's watching. Like I feel like I don't want to say that the T.O. story was local, because no, it was gigantic. Him leaving his former team, coming here was big. Roy Halladay coming here was big. There's a lot of debuts that'll come up in this list that were big, not only locally, but nationally. But unless I'm just forgetting a storyline, which, again, I could be, so let me know if I am, isn't the whole Harden, Simmons, Nets, Sixers thing the biggest story in sports right now? Like, hasn't it been?
Probably. The only argument that comes with it is Terrell Owens. Because that was also a big storyline. That's why they're the only two that are close here.
Yeah.
Right? It's the only two. So, yeah, go ahead.
So I think, honestly, with how the entire world is watching, you've got half of the world cheering for us. You've got the other half casting us out as villains and rooting for it to fail. And then with what you said, Tom, to what it really means. Like, if this was a team that was projected to be a 6th seed, right? And it's like, okay, here's Harden, and he's going to be the first of many moves to get it over the top, then yeah, it would be a big story. But you're pairing it along with the guy who should, I don't care who anyone else says it's going to be, if he stays healthy, it should be Joel Embiid, who's the MVP. So you're pairing a guy who has all of the stuff surrounding him, but also he's a top 75 player of all time. He is that second scorer, second option that we've been praying and begging for all of these years. I just think I honestly find a really hard way to say it's not. And again, I don't want to be somebody that's like, oh, well, it's happening now, so it's definitely the most. But to your point, Tom, it's this, then T.O., then kind of everything else.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies, you expected to win some championships when you went and got the arms, right? Mm-hmm. So that's obviously anticipated. But this has that feel of I can't even explain it. Like you almost expect to win, right? And then how you had I don't know how you had to wait so long to get rid of a guy, and then we waited through this whole process, not even air quote. We waited through a whole process of purposely losing basketball games, right, guys? And then they get second round exit, right? And sort of try to hope our stars continued to grow while one grew big time, right, and the other didn't, right? And that's where it went like this in terms of our NBA finals and winning championships aspirations, because one went here and one went south, right? And then to be able to get rid of the South guy after all that and bring in a star, which is what he is, like him or not, and pair him with the continue. I love this phrase, the best player on the planet. It's he's not just the league, it's the planet. Nobody does. Maybe the best player when he's playing like this that I've seen in the last decade, because he's unstoppable. It's unstoppable. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Philly fan. I watch a lot of basketball. Nobody can do what this guy does. The great Shaquille O'Neal, who's the most dominant big man that I ever watched, couldn't do what this guy does. He can shoot 85% from the line. It can't kill you from 3, right? Can kill you inside, outside, mid-game. They don't matter, right? And he fought Lions? Shit.
I think Kendrick Perkins said it the other day. It's Shaq and Olajuwon if they had a kid.
I think he said Durant.
That's even funnier.
He's a big man. He's a center with guard skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really what it comes down to. And then when you look at the size of I want to say Giannis a little bit. Giannis' game is a little bit different. I think he's evolved. But if you look at Durant's game, he's a legit 7-footer. Now, obviously, not trying to compare Durant and Embiid in terms of quickness and handle and all that, but he has guard-like skills. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's been bringing it. In these games, you've seen it. He brings up the ball. The ball is starting with him when he comes up the floor at times.
Yeah, he's a point center, which I didn't know existed until I watched this guy.
And that step back he did, oh my God, from the right elbow from 3, like I was just like, he's trying hard to get that fucking Harden step back down. Like he wants to add that shit to his arsenal so bad to be able to create space like that with that little jab step back that Harden does.
How many 7-foot guys are older or taller that have you seen be able to hit fadeaways like Kobe, LeBron, Mike? Not many, if any, ever. I mean, Timmy might be your closest thing, but not even to this level, even though Timmy was a good shooter, right? Like, it's nothing to this level.
Yeah, Timmy didn't put the ball on the floor.
No, he was a great, he'll hit you from the fucking elbow and just kill you.
Yeah, he was a pop. Yeah, he didn't really go beyond the arc too much.
That's why this is so much fun. And I know the next guy who's going to go isn't going to think so, but I mean, the rest of us still believe how fun this is going to be.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'll put on a tee for you.
No, absolutely. And
Brooklyn got scary if they up that mandate, if that's all coming true.
I don't fuck Kyrie. I don't care about no goddamn mandate. Let the guy play every fucking game. That we're gonna smoke them. I want them every round. Can I get the Nets for 3 rounds straight? I want it for 3 rounds straight, Nate. And if you don't, scared money don't make money. And I ain't scared of no bitch, because that's what that dude is. And I don't say that about many athletes. That's what that dude is. He's a bitch. And
are we talking about Ben or are we talking about Kyrie? Are we talking about both?
Talking about Kyrie right with him. It's
double bitch.
It's a double bitch. and their leader, right, Mr. Kevin Durant, who's sensational. Nobody's ever going to take that away from him. But he's got a little stench to him too. A little rat stench to him too. I don't even know how much I mean, Katie's filthy, but I don't know how much I like him, right? Like as a leader. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Well, to that point, he's never really had to be a leader, right? He's always gone somewhere else to not have to be a leader. This is his first.
He was a leader in OKC. Don't take that.
A leader of what?
Yeah, but they didn't win though. They were all young.
Well, that's because you had Russell Westbrook thinking he was the leader,
ruining everything.
that's why. If he gave him the fucking ball, they would have won. You know what I'm saying?
I'll have triple doubles.
No doubt about that.
Like an Andre Drummond rebound tonight. Like that guy got 20. You know what I mean? Like he had 20 boards. It's like Russell Westbrook. Like he had a triple double tonight. Like I watched the whole game. I didn't even see him have an assist. Like when did that happen?
They scored 30 points the whole game. How do you have 10 assists? Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I mean, it definitely is anticipated. I'm not going to sit there and shit on it and say it's not up there, right? You know what I mean? It definitely is. For me though, I look back because I was actually in the building, and I know it was at the end of his career, but the return of Allen Iverson after we traded him away and coming back, after some of the down years that we had without him, you kind of had that hope that he might have one little run left in him to at least get us somewhere. I know I was in the building. I know I rebought a jersey
at that point.
No, he was, but that was our childhood. You know what I mean? And that was our guy coming back.
Yeah, I feel you, because he came back to kiss the emblem.
So that's more anticipated. That was more anticipated for you than getting a guy that's not washed.
This is disrespectful.
I hope it is.
He was super.
But you could, to me, you could also go. Someone brought it up. You go the combination of Jim Thome and opening of Citizens Bank Park, right? What those two signified in this city, right? And you, Tom, because you mentioned it when the commenter brought it up, right? It was supposed to be the return of baseball, right? It was supposed to be, hey, we're here now. We got a new ballpark. We got new money to go spend. Jim Thome was a huge free agent at the time. And then you were open up this brand new ballpark that was supposed to be electric, and it is electric, right? And so I put those two personally ahead, obviously, naturally, than James Harden.
No, I mean,
Thome wasn't bad because I watched baseball.
Well, no, I mean, in the vet, he had 40. He had 2 straight seasons of 40 homers before they opened the.
Yeah.
Before they opened the bank up.
And you thought there was nothing less than 50 coming.
yeah, and it was a segue into us. It was a segue into us winning. Like he wasn't a part of that, but it segued this franchise into being a title contender, winning one, and then going back again, and then winning 140 games and Cliff Lee standing up. So
And
I
he was
mean,
a pro with it too, because didn't Howard come along too, like at the tail end of his?
Tail end of
Yeah,
Howard
06.
started
Yeah,
hot.
06.
Yeah, like Howard got hot, and it made sense for Howard to kind of take over at that point.
Yeah.
He was a pro about it too. He knew the guard was changing. That's the one thing I remember about Thome. Like I remember not him just being an outstanding baseball player for us, but just being a pro, man. Just being an absolute pro. When he stepped onto the diamond, and he did, like I think Tom, you said earlier, he brought baseball back for us in the Phillies. They were shitty, but he brought it back, for people who love to go to the park. So I think that's definitely up there, top 5 easy with Thome for sure.
Yeah,
Ralphie?
definitely a good human being.
For the poll, I'm gonna go agree as well. It's crazy because if you really think about the Sixers as a whole, right? Let's just stay on the Sixers and not even like group everything together. I mean, look at the Sixers. What was it? Almost 10 years now, right? Everybody was so excited for Andrew Bynum, right? And oh my God, we got the big man we wanted. He's an all-star. He's going to come in and he's going to help us out. We're going to go to the playoffs. And then he never plays, right? And he gets swept underneath the rug. He never plays, injures his knees bowling.
Almost bought season tickets. I almost bought season tickets because of it. I'm not lying.
Then the process happens again. And then the summer of, I think it was, 16, 17 with the –
Real quick, Rap, so it just shows you anything Greg's excited for doesn't pan out. So we have now 3
We're in a good spot then. We're in a good spot, Tom.
Yeah, we're a great spot. I'll see you guys on Broad Street soon. I mean, you can't put it on the tee any better than the guy did say. He did 3 guys who I'm not gonna say like Thome played well, obviously, but he named 3 situations where it didn't work out. Like at this point. Like
I'm surprised he didn't say the arrival of Chip Kelly. I'm surprised he didn't go there.
Big guys beat up on small guys. Oh my God, you're so right. So
Super Bowl!
I felt when he said that. I was like, this is it.
I did too. I was like, he's absolutely right. I was like, he's right on the football field. That is absolutely true.
Good point, Chip. Thanks for telling us. Go ahead, Ralphie. Sorry.
Oh, no. And then, the process years and struggling with that and getting 10 wins and 27 and wins and stuff like that. And then, the whole star hunting thing, and you're missing out on superstars like Kawhi Leonard, and then obviously drafting Joel Embiid, but he can't play for 2 years because of his foot. And then Ben Simmons comes here and he can't play for a year because of his ankle. And then Markelle comes here and his shoulder, he can't play either. So like the whole anticipation for the Sixers and their draft picks and the guys they signed, before Harden has always fallen short a little bit. But now it feels like, you guys hit the gold mine and you got the dozen of the gold right there that you're ready to turn in and get the payout.
Yep. I agree.
We have arrived. We have finally arrived. Ralphie.
Yep. You hit that one rock and, oh, shit, gold. There we go. Finally a payday. All right.
Frank?
I also agree to the poll, especially when you pair up 2 of the best players in the league, and especially of all the crap that we've been through, as what Ralph said, I'm legit excited to see what Joel and Harden can do. Harden always wanted to be here, and we finally traded this giant cancer on our team that was bugging us the past several seasons, or several months, several seasons, because the guy can't have a jump shot, and we got Richard Simmons instead of Ben Simmons. But I'm really excited to see what it brings us. You have our MVP in Joel Embiid, James Harden, Fear of the Beard, a rising star in Tyrese Maxey. So I'm really excited what the future holds for us with those 3. And growing up, I mean, T.O. coming to Philly, that always stands out as a great moment, to anticipate. Bryce Harper, the 4 aces, coming together. But James Harden, I think we got a pretty good shot at winning an NBA title with those 2.
And we should. Noah?
Without a doubt, I 100% agree to this poll. Okay? With all due respect to Roy Holliday, may he rest in peace. The no-hitter, awesome. The perfect game was awesome. Thome's God knows how many dingers in that 03 season at the Vet. Awesome. I could go on and on. T.O. and the Super Bowl run. But with this team now, with the Sixers, they have a legitimate chance to win the championship this year. And without Harden, you don't have that. And now they do. And think about this, guys. It's here in Philadelphia. You look at the Eagles, mediocre team. We're most likely still a long way away from really contending for a Super Bowl. All right? You look at the Phillies. Despite having Bryce Harper, we're just simply not there yet. Hell, we don't even know if Major League Baseball is going to happen this year. All right? The Flyers, enough said. Move on. Okay? I mean, holy shit. I mean, what else? What else is there to look forward to? There's going to be no baseball season, or it's not going to start till fucking July. Okay? The Flyers are the worst team in the NHL. The Eagles just aren't there yet, and let's face it, the season doesn't start till September. I mean, if it wasn't for this trade, gentlemen, there would be absolutely nothing to look forward to on the Philadelphia sports scene. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I don't disagree with you at all. No,
you're not wrong.
I mean,
well, we were begging
easily. This is the most anticipated debut in the last 20 years.
It's like a shot of adrenaline.
Easily. And it couldn't have come at the more perfect time because of the reasons I stated, especially because there's going to be no baseball till June or July at the earliest, if at all. So, and when they do get back on the diamond, will anybody care at that point?
I think so, because it'll be nothing else to watch. So it'll by default.
Well, in June, hopefully we'll be watching the Sixers in the NBA Finals.
Absolutely.
But I mean, clearly, James Harden. I mean, I know you guys have alluded to a lot of different reasons here and gone on about the significance of him coming to Philadelphia, but it's no doubt. I mean, he instantly turns this team into a championship contender.
Absolutely does.
So since we have our one, and I think based off of everything we've been saying, we really have our two. Do we want to start creating our list, Frank, and putting it up on the screen? Our cumulative list.
I got the Post-it note ready.
Okay. So, Fam, I'll ask you, if Harden is 1 and T.O. is 2, who is 3? Any early votes?
In the last 20 years?
It's in the last 20 years.
Probably Roy Holliday would be mine. Is mine up there?
I mean, part of me, I want to bounce off of Roy Halladay and use the cumulative effort of the 4 aces in 2011 as something more anticipating. Because that rotation of those four,
when you just group them up and just put all 4.
I would group the 4 aces in 2011.
I actually still have that Sports Illustrated with all 4.
So do I.
I think I have a T-shirt somewhere.
But I think I said a little bit earlier. I think I'm going Harper. I think Harper.
Bryce
had a bit. Yeah, I think Bryce had a buzz.
I also had Bryce's.
I think 4 were great. With Roy to top it off, but I think was what's his name? Hamels was here. Was Lee here before Roy got here?
Lee was here, and then We got rid of Lee. We brought in Holliday. Then we brought in Lee again.
And then we brought in Oswalt.
Yeah,
And
so
Oswalt.
I'm going Harper for 3. In my opinion, I think Harper.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Thanks
You're
to
wrong.
Cliff fucking Lee, that was the beginning of the end of the Phillies run. Because in the
I would think-
NLDS
that
in
man.
2011,
I have something.
that
else on
son of a bitch had a 4-0 lead against the Cardinals. Blew it, coughed up that game. Then we ended up losing to the Cards in 5 to no fault of Holliday. He pitched a great game in Game 5. This Carpenter was a little bit better in the 1-0, 1-0.
And isn't that the
Loss
game?
there.
Isn't that the
I'm
game
sorry?
Howard blew his ACL?
Yes,
Didn't Howard
that
blow
is
his
the
ACL
Achilles.
game
in Game
Howard.
5
Yeah,
or
his
his
Achilles.
Achilles?
Yep.
He was never the same since
But-
after.
The point is, we wouldn't have even been playing in that Game 5 if Cliff Lee didn't blow that 4-0 lead in Game 2.
Now, I'm not a baseball expert, but in defense of Lee, I do remember Lee showing up against the Yankees. He was the only pitcher that showed up against the Yankees in the series.
In
I don't know if
09, yes.
before or
2
after.
years
I think it was
earlier,
before,
yes.
Yeah, right. So
In the 09 World Series,
yeah,
absolutely.
right. He was the only one who showed up in that series. So
See,
Correct.
Him and Utley.
to me, I don't go. I lean with Nate on this, where I would go Harper over Halliday just for this reason, and I'll compare it to a little bit like the Sixers situation, even though the Sixers are in much better chances of winning something than that Phillies team was. The Bryce Harper team, not the Halliday team I'm talking about. When Halliday arrived, that was only 2 years, 2 years after we won a World Series.
Yeah,
And it
yes.
was gigantic. Don't get me wrong. It's probably like if it's
Yeah,
not 3 on my
2010.
list, it's probably 4. But the Harper signing was the first, again, I'll use the term shot of adrenaline that this fan base had since arguably the 2011 run.
Mhm.
So because of that
no doubt.
time
Yeah, no
just
doubt.
being stuck in the mud, I would put Harper
Out the
over
mud?
that just because, and again, it might sound stupid that like a championship dulls down the debut of an all-time great pitcher like Roy Halladay, but I just think because of the years of us being stuck as a Phillies organization before the arrival of Harper, I would put Harper a little bit above it just because it was the first time where it's like, oh my God, could this finally be it? It
And
wasn't, but we didn't know that.
Right. And the more I think about it, I just remember, leading up to the signing, everybody's like, oh, what's the situation with Bryce Harper? What's the situation with Manny Machado? Oh, we've been following planes, following these flights to Las Vegas. What's going to happen? What's been going on in these meetings? Like, I just the build up to the signing, that had a lot more impact than getting Roy Halladay. So,
and I just think Harper was a bigger star.
yeah.
Like Harper's just a bigger star than Roy. Roy came into a good situation where we had stars here.
Right.
Harper came in, there was nothing here.
It's tough because I agree with you, Nate. I think he was a bigger star, but it's like, where do we rate it between bigger star or arguably the best pitcher in baseball? You know what I'm saying? Like Harper was a bigger star, but I don't even think at the all-time hype we were calling Harper the best player in baseball when we got him. That is.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. Only thing I remember, one of the biggest thing I remember, I remember Tom trolling me that I had fake news when I said Harper got signed. He's trolling me. He's like, fake news. And this is before Tom. This is before we even really got, behind the scenes with business. He just started talking shit.
No, that's not Tom. That doesn't sound like Tom.
No, not at all.
Doesn't sound like Tom.
Greg, where do you side on this between Harper or Halladay, or is there a third that we didn't name that you would put?
No. I think we're right in the same. I think we're right in the same. We're in the same church, different pew, right? And I agree. I lean Harper because of the direct factor that we were, right? And as you guys have stated, Halliday came into something that was already really good, and that's not to discredit and to disqualify what he added to us, right? And and what those when you go in total, what the 4 aces were supposed to do, right? But we were already pretty good at that time, and that was supposed to sustain us to be pretty good. This is the Harper is kind of ilk to me with the Jim Thome, right? This was supposed to signify we're bringing baseball back, right? And we're getting ready for something good here. And so that's why I would put Harper above Holliday and or the 4 aces if you lump them together, is just because of the anticipation of finally getting a star here, right? Finally getting a star in town, and us being able to finally go out and spend money, even though it's all we ended up spending. But it was a fun summer. You know what I mean? I think Bob Nightingale still reporting that Harper's being signed today.
Yeah. Ralphie, where do you go with which side do you go with on the Holliday, or I guess are we deciding we're just going to put the 4 aces together? So it's not
it makes the most sense just to group them, just because of you already had the 3 you had the 3 pitchers, and then you added Roy in there, and obviously you get the Sports Illustrated cover, and you get the photo shoots and stuff. Yeah, right.
And then Joe Blanton saying, "What about me?"
Yeah.
Hey guys, I matter too.
And Jan Brady, Joe Blanton.
Yeah. I mean, think about it with Harper, man. Like, we were glued to our phones for almost 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Just refreshing and watching MLB Network. And they actually had like the count, like how many days since, the season ended, and Harper and Machado are still out there, and watching the flights go to Vegas and Florida and come to PA.
And all the meetings of, Manny Machado is at Del Frisco Steakhouse in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So I think that just had more of a boost than, like you said, Greg, like we were already a good baseball team as it is. And it was like basically you had a garage full of Ferraris, right? And then you're just like, I'll get the Lambo. I'll just stick the Lambo in here, so.
Well, I'll never forget the voice message. And I wish I could find it, but it's over 3 years ago. I won't ever be able to find it. The voice message that you sent in our group chat, Ralph. Oh, running around the house. Yes, he was running around the house.
We got him.
And I'm not like posting a video where it's like, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man.
That day was awesome because like you said, Greg, like Bob Nightingale every day was like, oh yeah, Harper's gonna sign today, and you were up all.
It was a big deal too, Ralphie. Like
it was a big deal.
It was 13 years, no trade clause. Like it was like he was here. He wasn't just here. Like it
wasn't like a 3-year, like 13 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, he was here, and he was here to stay. And I think Roy's was like 3 or 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, year deal. Obviously with the cap and all that. Well, they don't have no cap in baseball, right?
They do not.
Not officially.
Tax, just the tax.
That's the tax. Yeah. A couple of Jimmy Butlers out there.
Yeah, where do we put? Like, I think we would all agree. I don't think Butler goes above Bryce.
I would say like 4, maybe like 4 or 5, and that is he top 5 for most?
I don't think he's top 5.
I don't even know if he makes the list, to be honest.
I think it was a good player. I think we knew how good he was. I didn't anticipate how good they were going to be with him.
Correct.
That's just me. But I knew he was an all-star. You were adding an all-star. Right. Embiid wasn't where he is right now. Right, we knew we had a good team, and adding him was like at that time Ben was still number 2.
Yeah, and remember too, that was like two seasons off of the whole big press conference with Brett and Elton of the whole star hunting thing, right? Yeah. Like we're gonna go out and get a star, and then 2 years down the line, that season, the year after, you go out and get Jimmy Butler. Which starts the star hunting and stuff like that. But
you're good honorable mention, I think. But I don't think he makes it.
How about this one? This might be a little out in the out right field. How about DeMarco Murray?
No.
Are you trying to hurt me?
What about DeMarco Murray?
No.
There was anticipation before.
There was anticipation, but yeah,
it was part of it.
Big time.
It was because of Chip Kelly, because he gets that running back that he needs, that bell.
Thanks, Greg.
But then he did not know how to use DeMarco Murray properly.
I tell you what, though, if we're talking about in the last, I guess, 20 years, I think Tom's right. I think you could argue Chip Kelly coming to Philly. There was a lot of buzz with Chip coming here.
The high up.
I get an interesting one too.
I'm not putting Harper over. By the way, I'm not putting Harper over those arms.
No,
really.
Nope. Because it's different.
That's not shocking to me.
Why was that shocking? Why isn't that shocking? I'm signing one player. I fucking got the greatest starting rotation on pencil ever in people's opinions, right? Like, how does anybody even get hits off of these guys? Like, you're expecting to win 110 games and coasting to a World Series and coasting to winning some. I mean, that was the anticipation there. The anticipation for Bryce Harper was just to try to get back on the baseball map. That was the anticipation. There was never anticipation bringing in fucking Gabe Kapler and Bryce Harper that here we come pennant race. That was never the anticipation from anybody. Not just being fair. That's saying it's not all on one player, right? The other side of it is I got three guys, and really four, but I brought in three, right? I got Roy, I got Cliff, and I got Oswald.
Yeah.
Like,
obviously Cole Hamels was there already.
Cole was there. Like, I mean, that anticipation, I know it's harder because it's going back a little ways, right? But that anticipation was like, man, we're talking like we're talking Harden. We're talking Broad Street. We're talking Parade City. I mean, that's all we thought we were talking about. No, never once when we signed Bryce Harper did I hear people talk about, the Phillies are now a legit contender. They'll win a title.
But do you need the title talk for it to be the biggest?
No, because it's still anticipation. It's still top 5 anticipation on my list, right? It's just not. It's anticipations that are different. Like, you're anticipating, like, oh man, I get to see a star player play, right? I don't expect to win necessarily, but I'm getting a star player. Like I said, anybody disagrees with it, it put baseball back on the map, right? But it didn't say that, oh my God, here we come. We're going to compete right now. We expect to be better. Yeah. How much better? We were talking 100 wins around here? Absolutely not. And then maybe you could say, like, okay, the signings in the offseason, but you can't add that in, Tyler. You can't add in like, oh, then we went and got JT. Again, we said we were going to be back on the baseball map, and our owner said stupid money. But the problem is our owner only signed one guy that year. It wasn't like stupid money. It was one guy. He signed one guy for 42 years. The other ones are, I just went and got the Cy Young Award winner.
And a Hall of Famer.
I got the best pitcher in baseball. Like, I don't know if I got the best player in baseball when I got Bryce Harper. Just by that one move, I got the best pitcher in baseball in that moment. I can't say that about Bryce Harper. I can't. Like, he's top 10? Absolutely. No question when you're getting him. He's a top 10 player in the league. But he wasn't the best. It's not like I got Trout. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely fair. I don't know how much you were listening to it. My only thought was, like, we were already good, and then we just added to them, right? And so that's kind of why, at least for me, it took it down just a little bit of a notch because of the direct that we wrought. The how bad we were recently leading up to the anticipation of getting Harper, right? And you're absolutely right. Like, getting Harper, did we expect Broad Street right away? No. But, yes, it did put, it's kind of like, I used it kind of like in ilk to Jim Thome, right? Putting us back on the baseball map in a way of, hey, we're now, we're back. We're coming back.
Yeah, which is cute, though.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, I'm just being real with you. Like, what are we in it for? We're in it for championships. So the one anticipation doesn't equal the other anticipation. In reality, like, yes, we anticipated actually being able to turn on a baseball game. That's what we anticipated. Like, we went from not being able to turn it on to anticipate, you know what? I'm on catch opening day now. I'm going to see Bryce Harper play, right? But we didn't anticipate being like the other team was anticipating being. Yes, they were very good, but we all knew we had holes in our rotation back then. If you play revisionist history, we knew if you go back that we needed more. And not only did we get more, we got Pimp City. We get the best player. We get the best arm in baseball, and a guy and the other guy who is, another top 5 to 10 arm in Cliff Lee. I mean, right? And then you have the World Series MVP sitting around. So that anticipation was crazy. Not that Harper wasn't, but it was like, it was just anticipation. Like, maybe we win 85. Right?
Like, say it's 3-4. Like, so
right there, yes, absolutely.
Like, they're both right after each other. They're both on the list in top 5.
Yeah, because I'm just giving you the other side of it, of somebody who's like older too. That, like, when you're more at a certain age for stuff, you remember just a little bit more, right? At times, like the impact and what you were getting and what the expectations were. It didn't live up to that, but the expectations were, let's be real, that we might go win 3 in a row. The expectations weren't like, we might go win another one. No, we were talking and walking around here like, man, this is the best team in baseball. It's not even close.
Yeah,
you thought you already knew what we had.
2 out of the 4 Roy years, at least maybe 2.
So let's do a final vote on 3-4. Ralph. So Tom obviously goes the 4 aces. Ralphie,
Harper
or 4 aces.
Harper.
Okay, 1-1. Frank,
My vote goes to one Mr. Bryce Harper.
2-1. Nate,
Yeah, I'm going Harper still.
Man,
3-1.
Roy Holiday rolling over right now. Rolling over. We're forgetting the greatness. Go ahead, Noah.
Noah, 4 aces or Harper?
I'll say the 4 aces, because obviously the hope was that we could keep the reel in another title before the window closed.
Greg, it's 3-2, by the way.
We know where he's going.
Yeah, I'll go 4 aces.
Wow. Look at the guy.
He sold me. He sold me.
Look
He
at
sold
the
me.
guy throw a curveball. Look,
You sold me.
Tiebreaker.
I'll go Harper.
There you go.
You sold me. You
What's
sold me
that
because they were,
right?
in my mind, they were neck and neck, and so you sold me. I completely agree.
Okay, so now what's 5? Because we just did 3-4.
Okay. I get an off the wall one here for you.
Okay.
You already gave one.
Well, real quick, before you get your off the wall, I'm annoyed by this. I'm annoyed by it. You can tell the generation, right? And I'm annoyed with you, Nate. And I can tell the generation. We got the best pitcher in baseball. The best pitcher in baseball. The best. It wasn't up for debate on who the best at the time was. Oh my goodness. Wait, that wasn't as much. Now, this is where the Harper hair gets everybody. And this is why
I love Harper. You know that.
Where I love the guy Harper. His hair brings the milkshake.
He comes out to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I think the dramatics that led to the Harper signing puts it over the top for me.
Bryce.
Well, to me, I think it was I think for me, what was over was the contract, right? The contract that he was here. Like that's what like when Roy came in, I'm just
Ryan they tickled our balls for freaking 5 months.
Yeah,
That's why. That's what it was.
It felt great. It felt good, didn't it? You like it when your balls
every day it was like a little. It was a little this every day. Hey,
that's the biggest factor for me. It's that it was 24/7, 365. We were basically at this guy's friggin' house. You know what I'm saying? Wow. We were trying to look for answers. There was never that drama with Howard.
I mean, if we were in that time where social media was so prominent, Holiday, do you think Holiday would get that same? I don't know if we would follow Holiday around. We would follow, but not everywhere.
Well, Johnny, you're probably a Harper junkie, and that's fine. It's fine. He's right there. He's either 3 or 4 to me. Like it's not that big of a deal. I just want to argue the fact of how great what we were getting was. Like to not forget that. Just to not forget that. Not saying everybody was.
I also think that to add on to that too, that deal kind of came out of nowhere. Like we didn't really think that we had the pieces to go get it. And then when you figure out what you actually traded in Kyle Drabeck and Michael Taylor, you know what I mean? And that's all we kind of gave up. And it was
but did you think you were going to get Harper too? Because a lot of you didn't.
I know I did.
No, I thought they were getting them.
I thought at the end of the day,
come on, Tommy.
I swear to you.
You weren't listening back then because I was saying it was Machado or Harper. And I always said I would rather have Machado. But I've always said if it's stupid money, I get both. I don't go get one. So that's where
I wanted both.
The Harper anticipation was almost a letdown for me. This is where my argument for it was. Yes, the anticipation leading up to us probably signing him is different anticipation than when we get him, right? When we got him and we signed him, it was great. Oh, yeah, maybe there'll be more. And there wasn't anything else. So then the anticipation going into the season is like, okay, well, what kind of team are we? Right? You know what I mean? So it was almost like, we got him. But then like, oh, okay, well, how long is it going to take for us to win?
It's like Trout and Anaheim.
Yeah. So the anticipation leading up to the signing was the most was big time. That's what I said. It was like every day.
We're not talking about the outlook. We're talking about the anticipation.
It's not the outlook. You're talking about anticipation when you sign somebody. How are we talking about anticipation before we sign somebody? then Ben Simmons should be one on the list because that was the biggest anticipation, getting rid of that loser. So then he should be one, right? But it's not anticipation.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I like that.
A little throw in, a little sneaker, right?
Yeah, a little sneaker.
Anticipation to move Ben Simmons was, if we're talking that kind of anticipation.
That number 5.
Greg, who was the one you thought of? You said it was an off the wall one.
It kind of is, and the Phoenix Coyotes are on right now. Ilya Bryzgalov.
I knew somebody was going to go here.
God. We finally got a goalie.
When the Flyers, that's exactly it, right? When the Flyers traded for him, we thought that this was your goalie.
8-year contract. 8-year contract. Yep.
So
Brooke.
Hey, Greg, if his name ain't Wayne Simmons, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
that offseason.
I got no idea who you're talking about. Him or Lindros. That's the
Nate,
only.
you're on mute. We're talking hockey. Nate's on mute. We're talking hockey.
What about Wentz?
Like I said earlier, it's like in the opening, it was anticipated.
It was anticipated.
Traded up twice to get him.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was more anticipated than moving
He
the
wasn't
loser.
going to start. He wasn't going. Supposedly, he wasn't starting. So.
Yeah,
Well, see, are we factoring in because that's not a debut? Like, are we just throwing like anticipated moments in time, or are we just saying debuts?
I don't know. I just look at anticipation when I get somebody, the anticipation leading up to him playing. Because that's how I looked at the poll question, right? I looked at anticipation leading up to like James Harden. The signing of that was the most anticipated thing could have happened. Like before stuff happens, it's anticipated that hopefully we sign somebody. So nothing's guaranteed. But once I sign somebody, what's the anticipation leading up to seeing him play? Bryce Harper couldn't wait to see him play. Not taking anything away from that. It was just a letdown when they did nothing fucking else. Right? When they were like David Robertson. Right? You know what I mean? Like, what? What? Yeah. This is your all
2
in.
weeks. 2 weeks of Robertson, too.
You're all in. These are the names you're signing to go along with a guy that is arguably a top 10 player in the league. That's why the anticipation was different. It was like, what? Are we winning? Like, I know we were going the right track, hopefully. I don't even know if we are, but we were expecting to be going here, and that's what that anticipation was, right? Like, you know what I mean? So I don't want to make it like I'm knocking Harper anticipation at all because it's right, it's next. But like the other one was winning. Like, I'm always going to take me personally. I'm always going to take the anticipation of like, oh my God, I might go win 3 titles. That's why Harden'S won, because I might go win 3 titles. So that anticipation is like, ooh, I'm up in my feels.
Tyler's trying to make the case that it's Markelle Fultz. He says, I got a weird one that people got excited for, trading up 1 to get Fultz. That trade was awful, so I can't really be in this, but I remember how pumped this city was. And then he says, when we traded up for Fultz, the city really believed we had a true basketball contender for years. Embiid was balling the year before. We had we had 2 number 1 picks debuting together, Ben and Fultz. I didn't miss a Sixers game that year. And Tyler, like, we're just talking about anticipation. Like, we could talk about, it doesn't really matter what ended up happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been a bust. Like, that's why, Greg talks about Bryzgalov. Like, it was definitely anticipated. So, like, what happens afterwards doesn't really matter.
True, it was anticipated. But I think the anticipation of dealing Ben Simmons might be 5.
What about Embiid? Waiting 2 years for him.
Oh, yeah. I actually did have Joel Embiid on my list.
I don't think so because that whole, like, he looked like he didn't give a shit kind of threw me off when we drafted him. Remember when we drafted him and it showed the video of him just like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh no, that was a camera conspiracy. They cut back to him. It was a delay. He was all happy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
That was ESPN's calls and narratives.
But it killed the mood for me, right? It just killed the mood anyway, just the way it came off. I never agree with Tom. You could probably count on one hand how many times I agree with Tom, but I'm actually agreeing with Tom here. I'm actually going Ben Simmons for number 5.
Ooh, 40 Boy has one for you, Tom. He says, Smitty, Tom called him walking gold jacket. How could you not be excited for that?
Again, this different excitement, right? Like, how good are we going to be? Right? Like, I thought we could win 9, 10 games, maybe 11. Like, so I thought we'd be better, but I didn't like anticipate titles right away. Like, you know what I mean? And I really love Devontae Smith, but it's like, it's a different anticipation, 40 Boy. You know what I mean? It just is like, it's a player I really like, but again, football's hard with that stuff, unless it's like a quarterback, right? Unless you're going to you got a franchise quarterback, then you're anticipating the debut of that. But like skill position players are like, okay, I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? I'm here. How are you? I just don't. I don't know if I can get in the top 5.
I was anticipating it. So.
Oh yeah, that's one for you, Frank.
Yeah.
I think Embiid is right there.
What about Chris Pronger? Is that up there?
I know who that is.
I just don't know if anything Flyers related made us feel like we were ever getting a cup. Like
I mean, it was a great move at the time. I mean, it made sense.
What year was
Pronger was
11?
I think it was leading up to the Stanley Cup year. I think we got him in 2009, I believe.
Oh.
Then we had the run the following year, and then leading up to the Brizgalov signing.
We drafted Lindros, right?
Correct.
We traded for Lindros.
No. We drafted Peter Forsberg and traded for Lindros.
We still drafted Lindros.
But it came out of the draft, yes.
Yeah, all things being equal, we essentially drafted.
But it's social media. No, you guys didn't draft Lindros.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, actually.
I think it's either Joel's debut or Carson's debut. And for the sake of how that went, right? Just for the sake and who's the best player in the planet, I think it's got to be Joel Embiid's debut, because then once we saw him and we got a little taste, it's good. Good.
Yeah, because you also have to
what
factor
did he
in
do in
too.
his debut? I don't remember.
Scored a point a minute.
Yeah, 20 points in 21 minutes. I watched the highlights the other day.
Yep. Literally a point a minute. Like, okay, we got our guy. And somebody said that in the chat, like, we got our guy. And I think we felt that when it happened. And it was really, if you want to talk about anticipation, once you have somebody, I mean, like we talked about, that was 2 years of anticipation. I mean, we watched him do like 360 dunks in practice, and literally we're like, I can't stop. I can't
wearing socks.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
Yeah,
I went to a couple games and he was on the floor like an hour before wearing socks. I'm looking at my father. I'm like, what the hell is this? This guy has bad feet. And he's doing dunks in socks.
And part of the anticipation was the worry that he might never play.
Yeah.
I was saying
I was worried about that.
I was saying back then I never thought he would play. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I was worried that we were getting Greg Oden 2.0 when we got him, because, that injury that he had, that was the injury that basically derailed Greg Oden's success in the league. And
20 points in 22 minutes in his debut.
That year when Joel debuted, Darius Saric made his debut. So that was laying that foundation of, what that team could have been with the core of Embiid, Saric, and Simmons. Simmons coming in the year after. So it was laying the foundations of a contender in the Sixers.
No, it was. And we had some exciting young players, like you're saying. So definitely is. I listen, I don't know. Let's vote on it, but I'm gonna go.
Come on, Andy. Give me at least 15.
Because the first poll was the poll, right? So the poll is James Harden will have the most anticipated Philly debut in the last 20 years, right? So when you're talking about debuts, right? I think that's where like a guy like Joel comes in, right? Because I mean, you just sat and waited, and when it finally happened, you're like, oh, wow, okay. Not even the fact about how he played; it was just the wait to see him play.
So you're going Embiid. I'll also go Embiid. Ralphie.
I mean, because I'm not a Sixers fan, I'm going to go Carson.
Okay.
Because Embiid doesn't have any ties to me to become.
No, right, he doesn't, and he never will.
Nope.
So I'm going to go Carson.
You remember that. He will never have any ties to you.
Ralph,
we weren't in
Carson's debut. Did you see that?
Carson's debut stats?
Yeah.
What?
I was trying to remember what Carson did.
He probably did well. But Tyler,
he won on my birthday.
MCW can't count really unless you're really anticipating the draft pick of him, like the drafting of him. Like you can't count like after he played, we anticipated craziness. You know what I mean? Because we got out of control after one win. So it's really anticipating the debut of a player, right? So you got to almost take out the, once you see it, right? It's almost before it.
Carson had 30. He was 22 for 37, 2 touchdowns in that game against Cleveland for 278.
Nothing like letting a rookie fire it 37 times.
Right.
Boy, Doug.
There we go, Doug.
Set your guy up for success, Doug.
Shit, remember that Cincinnati game he threw for like 60 times, wasn't it? His rookie year? Remember that game?
No, we don't
Christ.
Football. We'd love to throw the football again. Love to know what that feels like.
Frank, your vote.
Give me my favorite Cameroonian, Joel Embiid.
Okay, 3-1. Nate?
Do I have to pick those two?
No.
I don't have enough hands, though, so somebody else keep track.
Yeah. I'm putting a vote for Chip Kelly. I thought Chip
3-1-1.
Kelly's him coaching here and that anticipation was pretty big.
Greg, you keep track of Chip Kelly. You keep track with your hands.
I'll keep track.
I don't have any more hands.
I think a lot of people thought that he was going to change football with his offense.
You're not wrong. Especially after those down years that we had at the end of Andy.
Yeah. He was like he was like Jimmy, like he was in like the next Jimmy Johnson, right? Like he was the next big star that we thought as a coach. So I'm putting in for Chip.
Noah, you have 3 options.
Yeah, give me Chip only because
he's going to steal it. He's going to steal it.
Hold on, Kelly pulling
Eric, hear me out. When he got here, when he first got here, I mean, we really thought he was going to change the way the offensive football is played.
Thanks, Lucas.
And for a minute there, he did. The success, it wasn't sustained. It didn't last long. And the problem is eventually opposing defensive coordinators caught on pretty quickly.
Greg?
And
come on,
when
Greg.
they did, he couldn't adjust.
Come on, Greg. Clean sweep on the bottom row. Let's go.
As much as I did love me some Chipper, I'm not a fan of curfews. I'm not a fan of smoothies. Give me Joel.
You're not a fan of smoothies?
All right.
No, not
Majority
really.
rules.
Not a man. Oh, man. You got to try Smoothie King out.
Great drop in.
That was the most drunkest comment I think I've ever seen.
And
man, you got to try Smoothie King.
It's delicious. You can get
Where's the sponsorship, goddammit?
You can get like espresso shots.
Pour me another beer, bartender.
All right, so we have our first top 5.
It's funny. I heard that somebody said something interesting that I thought was interesting. They said Washington is looking at Wentz now.
I'm sure they are.
Perfect. I thought that'd be a funny fit because it is a fit, to be honest.
All right, so we have our most anticipated Philly debuts. Now we're going to go into our top 5 biggest what ifs, and that is brought to you by FanUp. And FanUp is, whenever this clicks on here, FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, NBA contests now, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. You can find FanUp right on the Apple Store. Go check them out. Go download it. You can challenge anybody at any time on bets. Come challenge me. I told you, I always hit accept. 50-50 chance. I'm always here hitting accept. So FanUp right on the Apple Store. And make sure you use our promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, $50 value. Get you playing for a while. They pay out immediately. Go soak them in, family. Head on over. So biggest what ifs. We have our top 5 scrolling down on the ticker of most anticipated debuts. So now we'll go into biggest what ifs. And I'm just going to lead this off with them.
Can I ask a clarifying question first?
Yes.
Is it a what if as in like we don't know how it turned out, or a what if as in if it turned out differently?
I think it should be this is just me. If it turned out differently, like the butterfly effect that it would have caused.
Yeah, it's simple.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple in my head right off.
I have a few.
Number one's like, hey, T, go hit a bomb off of T. It's Carson Wentz's injury. What happens? Right? What Like, do we not win a Super Bowl that year? Do we win a Super Bowl? Does that change him being able to become a leader, right, and not feel like he's in the shadows, right? There's a lot of things that were the butterfly effect from tearing his ACL, MCL, and every other CL he had in his body, okay, or in his kneecap. So that what if changes the course of his entire career, the course of where this franchise thought they were going in a way, where the quarterback head coach relationships. Remember, this is a guy who was spinning all over the yard, was the best player in football, right? Was surrounded by a ton of veterans that year, that he didn't have to be a leader, and then it's stripped away from you, and another guy wins it. What if? What if he didn't tear the knee? Do we still go win it? Do we win multiple? Is he still here slinging it? Is it the Patrick Mahomes effect? Because he was almost Mahomes right before Mahomes. I mean, that's the kind of crazy numbers and crazy plays and stuff outside the pocket that this guy was doing in 2017 that obviously nobody else was, because he was the leader for the MVP race. So do we win multiple titles? Is he still here? Do we win none? That's the biggest what if probably that is ever happened in Philadelphia sports.
I'm probably going to get crushed for this, but I can think of two that are maybe bigger. The one
bigger than possibly not winning a Super Bowl. Bigger than winning.
And I know it sounds foolish. I know it sounds foolish on paper.
Bigger than winning possibly 2 or 3, and the guy still being here, and Doug still being here, and you winning a ton of football.
And we don't have a fan base fighting each other to the death on.
Yeah. A lot.
No, listen. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. What if Andrew Bynum, it works? You don't have Embiid. You don't get Simmons. You don't go into the process.
You don't have the entire process.
From Bynum trade to now, it's all different. It never happens.
How many years after Bynum did we draft Embiid? I need to know that. I don't have that.
We got him in 2012. The process began in 13, so about 2 years, yeah.
And that was the thing that caused them to blow it up.
Yep.
Well, how good was and I know Andrew Bynum won a ring, and I know he was anticipated because it felt like we got a big man now who was really good, right? And I know it was anticipated. Not anticipated. Sorry, I know it was a big like a what if he worked out. Where would it go if he didn't go bowling? I don't know.
He still probably would have gone bowling, but.
Because how good
a healthier bowling trip.
We would never have.
If he was good in LA, how good would we have been?
Right.
So you're talking about the butterfly effect that we maybe don't get any of these of the guys we got.
Yeah, like I'm not even going to go to where like, oh, maybe we win a championship with Bynum. No, it's that we will never experience arguably one of the greatest talents Philadelphia has ever seen.
Well, what if say greatest talents? What if 11 don't get hurt?
Well, and I'll go another. Well, here's my other one too, which is
I already knew we were already watching that. We were watching.
Well, I'll go one further because the guy I'm about to mention, we knew he was a star. He was one of the most dominant ever, and we had seen it longer than we had seen Wentz at the time in 2017. What if Ryan Howard doesn't get hurt in 11? Because it costs him his career. It simultaneously ends our run.
Well, that's where I was going with what I thought was
Dude, that is so weird because that is
a 4-0 lead.
Because that's on my list, the Ryan Howard injury.
It is on my list as well.
Yo, Rye.
Hey, no.
If Cliff Lee didn't blow that fucking 4-0 lead, game 5 of that series doesn't even happen. And Howard doesn't get hurt.
Holy shit, I feel like someone just said that.
So that's why I hear you, Tom. Like if people say Wentz is one, I'm not going to argue it. Those two just stick in my head.
No, Ryan Howard's my favorite player to walk through this city. So I mean, you don't have to sell me on Ryan Howard. I just don't know what the spiderweb effect, the butterfly effect, whatever effect it is, happens if that guy doesn't get hurt. I just don't know what happens. There's so many what ifs. Like we might not even have a Super Bowl, right? Or we might have numerous ones. He just might win the MVP, and we don't win a Super Bowl, right? So it's really like a crazy. Nick Foles doesn't get $100 million, right? Like so much stuff happened by one injury that changed the course of a franchise, and right now we don't know for good or worse, because if he doesn't get hurt, he might still be elite. That's the biggest thing. Because if he doesn't get hurt, is he still elite? Because if he's elite, he's still playing at a high level right this minute here. And we're not having conversations about needing Russell Wilson and giving up picks, right? And doing those types of things. We're continuing to try to build around our franchise guy, right? So
I know for a fact that if he doesn't tore the ACL, he's definitely here still. Without a doubt. Without a doubt, he's still here.
Just the craziest thing, really.
It is.
Do you, whether it's one or not, do you guys want to
Screw you, sweeps.
Yeah, sweep.
And I say that with all due respect and love to our uncle.
Kind of like we do with the 4 aces. Do you want to just pair like the Cliff Lee choke and Ryan Howard injury with we just can call it the 2011 choke job? You want to pair that as like a what if?
Yeah, it can get paired. I mean,
yeah, because I think they are connected.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll go Wentz. What are you guys going?
I'm going Wentz 1.
I am also going with Wentz 1.
3.
That's the biggest one.
Nate?
I think the Kawhi shot is the biggest one for me.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I have Kawhi at number 2
Because because the way it happened, right, and just that 5 or 6 bounces that it had, it was the longest like 10 seconds you ever saw. So for me, I think it's got to be the Kawhi shot. What if Embiid blocks that shot? And he's got to stop running after people because he did that shit in the All-Star game and fucking Bron hit the shot too. Just stay where the fuck you at. Like he's got to think about running and defending shots and these guys making it. Just stay the fuck where you at. But yeah, no, I think for me, I think that the Wentz one is definitely huge because that changes a lot. But I think this one's right up there. If not one, probably easily number 2 is the what if Kawhi didn't make that shot, right? Because Toronto might not even win the seed that year.
We still would probably have Jimmy Butler in a Sixers uniform.
Yeah, like Ben and Butler might still be here. They might have figured it out. You know what I mean? Like that changes everything.
I agree with you, Nate. The one thing I'll say to you, Frank, I do think Jimmy's going regardless, but doesn't matter. We probably have a championship if that doesn't go in.
And here's the other thing: we just don't know how we would have done in the Eastern Conference Finals. We just don't know. Would we have won it?
But
perhaps. But
right, like it's not a
what. You don't know how Brett Brown was going to do in that particular finals, so maybe in some parallel universe, the Sixers do go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and Brett Brown somehow screws it up. Maybe he's gone. We don't know.
Yeah, I think they get to the finals, and I think they win because who was it? Golden State they faced.
It was Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State was hurt bad.
Or we tied.
It was tie. It was looking like overtime was full-gone conclusion, and then
I can't put it 1. I can't put it 1. It's cool. It's probably up in here.
It's probably top 3.
I don't know.
It's top 3. I have it at 2.
But it's because it's not
because
like
it was the biggest heartbreak. Because it's just because of the bounces. If he,
you're right. The bounce,
not. But because it just rattled and did the bounce, that was tough. That was fun. I can feel it now. You can feel it now in your fucking in your stomach. Right?
The swish feels better, Nate. The swish is just like, okay, I buried it. The 59 bounces it took, you're like, just get it over with. If you're gonna go in, go in.
Yeah. And then afterwards, the angles that you saw from the shot of how crazy the shot was, it was just ridiculous.
I don't know. I never saw it. I never watched that play ever again.
Oh man, like when you got the shots from the side, from the angle, like he literally was almost behind the basket. It was ridiculous.
All right, yeah, it is. And I got a picture over here. All right, Noah, what are you taking?
Man,
I hear you.
I gotta go Wentz.
Okay, 4.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the Wentz.
Greg,
because if he doesn't get hurt, shit.
Yeah,
that was
honestly. If he, you know what? If he doesn't get hurt, I really think he's still here.
Everybody, wait for it.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Greg?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, Wentz. I think that is crazily Because, I mean, there's so many parallels even just to that year, let alone going forward, right? I mean, so many parallels.
Guys
And
lost
so many spider webs.
Yep.
Since my vote doesn't matter, I will be spiteful and say Andrew Bynum.
How about this one? Might not be top 5, but what if Sam Hinkie was never hired by the Sixers?
Don't you talk about the GOAT like
How
that?
dare you speak his name?
How
Sam
dare
Hinkie
you?
died for our sins.
Well, no. You should rephrase it. What if the NBA didn't force Sam Hinkie out? Yeah.
Ooh. That's a good one.
I'm probably still picking 3.
Yeah, right? What
Fine,
if Sam
find out.
Hinkie was never hired by the Sixers?
I think my number 2 is a little different too. Just a name this one to throw out, right? What if T.O. was healthy?
Oh yeah, somebody said that earlier. What if he had 2 legs?
Yeah.
He would still do just the same thing.
Does he go for 200? Do we win?
All right.
Do we win? Like, right?
Go for 250.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying it's 2. It's a good one to ask. Like, what if he was healthy? Because we saw what he did on one leg.
Yeah. Well, and that kind
I
of
would
ties
change
into
that
what
around
Andy
and
said
say-
too, right? What if they were just on the same page?
Well, what
Yeah,
happened? Like, the injury almost created divide after the fact.
Yeah.
Because he felt like he left it all out there, another guy throws up. Right? There's a lot of like dynamics that come from him just being hurt. Right? Like Donovan said some things to the postseason, like we'll be all right. Like these little things, a little subtle, like he says, right? That if he doesn't get hurt, like did they win it all? Even though that New England had film on them.
Ethan, we still don't win that game if Alshon catches that ball.
You're out of your mind. We win.
Oh,
that.
you're crazy.
You're
Greg.
crazy. We win that game.
I don't know if we win or lose. I don't remember what the score was at that time. I know
They
It
we
was
were-
just
they
it
were
was just gonna be a
driving, they
first
were
down from the
down by
15-yard
2.
line.
yeah, but what was the
With
score?
with God, oh, we're winning that game.
Oh, in that
he-
divisional game against the
He
Saints,
disappeared for 3 quarters.
where we
Yeah, he
lost
had a
20-14.
He
Yeah.
rose. He rose again. He was resurrected.
Touchdown. You need a touchdown still. All right. It's a big play. If it was
Like,
for
yeah,
a
that barely
score,
would have gotten you a first down. That's what I'm saying. Like,
if it was for a score, like he drops it for
Completely
a
different.
touchdown, I'm right with everybody. There's so much what ifs after that. Like, what if we got to score? We got to score, and then we got to make an extra point, and then I don't know how much time on the clock's left. Like, they'll probably go fucking score because we disappeared. We came out like gunslingers, and then we just disappeared for 3 quarters. What happened if we didn't disappear? I mean, yeah.
What happened?
that might
what
be
if,
the bigger question. What happened if Nick Foles didn't disappear for 3 quarters?
What if we actually had a running game because our best running back
Yeah.
was Josh Adams?
Oh yeah, the great Josh Adams. What if Josh Adams was actually what people thought he was? That should be number 2. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Like,
Yeah,
dude,
guess where he went to high school?
Oh, here we go.
That fucking powerhouse CB East. Gee, I can't imagine why Josh Adams didn't last in the NFL.
oh, you want 2? You want 2? No, I got 2 now. I had to think for a second. I got 2. What if the Ben Simmons wasn't a bitch? What happens if he actually just got better and wanted to get better? Like, what if?
What if he had a jump shot?
Yeah, what if
Ben
he
Yeah,
wasn't?
I actually had that on my
What
list.
You mean
What
what
if Ben Simmons
what
was a
if
player that was advertised?
Yeah,
what
Ben
if what
Simmons
happens in
wasn't Ben
Brooklyn
Simmons?
happened in Philly?
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
you.
what if Ben Simmons wasn't Ben
Well,
Simmons?
then we wouldn't have James Harden.
I think.
No,
the-
Tommy, I think that is number 2.
I think
think
the
that's
what
right.
if is what if Ben Simmons was as advertised? I think that is the what if. What happens if he's advertised? Because he wasn't advertised as Ben Simmons. He was advertised to us as fucking Magic Johnson, LeBron James in a blender. Here's LeBron. Here's
There
LeBron.
was KD comparison.
Here's Ben. I mean, here's
Yeah.
Ben. I mean. Yeah, there was comparisons to every like great that was like really Magic. Like, and then you watch him and you're like, okay, I see a little Magic.
Yeah.
Right. And then obviously like LeBron, you saw the size. Well, like, what if? What if he actually lived up to being as advertised here?
Yeah, that's 2. I'll vote that one. Ralphie, is there another one? Or are you going that one?
I'll go Ben. Absolutely. We always
Great.
said if Ben got a jump shot, he's unstoppable.
It's not even about the jump shot. If he was just aggressive and he made his foul shots.
If he wasn't passive aggressive, narcissist, Well, where would we be? What if?
Frank.
I have what if Kawhi missed the shot?
Okay, 3-1. Nate.
I thought that was already on there.
Mm-mm.
Was that not already on there?
No.
Oh, well, I'm going Kawhi.
3-2. Noah. Ben or Kawhi?
Kawhi.
Oh, hell. Greg, you're the tiebreaker.
Ooh, that was a sick goal. See, what's funny too is you can actually combine them, and you can combine the what ifs, right? If Ben Simmons was as advertised, does the Kawhi shot even happen?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I
Copy Greg. Just
rabbit
answer
hole
Greg.
type
Okay,
story.
Greg.
I don't got 4 hours tonight.
I'm down the rabbit hole, right? But
Just
put
pick one.
to both of those points, right? If Ben Simmons is as advertised, that game might not come down to that shot.
Well, if Jimmy Butler was the point guard that everyone says he is, he wouldn't have had 2 back-to-back shot clock violations out of timeouts.
Oh, that sounds like a dig I would take at him. Jeez,
Well,
like it.
Well, I think anybody with a pulse and an eyeball saw what happened there. But as much as that's Jimmy, you also have a guy on the court that refused to shoot. So
yeah, I got to go Ben though. I'll vote Kawhi 3 though.
yeah, Kawhi will end up being 3.
I'll vote the Kawhi shot 3.
you go Kawhi shot over T.O. no injury.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Forgot about that one. That one's still around.
I also have it. I have another one, and I'll be the guy that keeps bringing up the Flyers. What if Patrick Kane doesn't score from an odd angle in overtime of Game 6?
That's a good one. That fucking goal was crazy. I remember seeing.
How
It's
about
funny. I
this
was
one?
talking so much shit about hockey, but every time you say something about hockey, I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Let's not forget.
Greg, what
But I
about this?
remember that goal. That because it was like I remember watching it, and it was like nobody moved because they didn't think
Because
he
you didn't know.
scored.
Yeah, you couldn't see
They
it.
didn't know he scored. Yeah.
Greg,
that
what
goal
about
was
this one?
fucking
What if the
crazy.
Flyers never traded Carter or Richards? Both of them. Because
Nah.
remember that offseason, we traded both of them.
What if the Sixers actually surrounded Allen Iverson with another star?
They could have done it in '98 with Paul Pierce or Dirk Nowitzki, but we're talking about after 2000. And
Let's not forget about the Phillies 2011 now. Let's not forget about that one either.
Yeah, I'm just throwing them out there so people have some. They don't.
Ooh, we got
There's a
some.
lot of stuff like what if Andy Reid won a championship here?
Oh, he might still be coaching.
You know what I mean?
I kind of
No, like he might still be coaching.
Yeah,
Here.
If Andy won a ring in Philly, what if Andy won a ring in Philly?
All-time contract, like lifetime contract.
He's
Yeah,
the
like
he'd be the Belichick of the NFC.
Can we tie that into the TO and the 2 legs?
No,
that's got it.
Greg, you can't.
Stop tying in.
stop tying things.
I'm a bundle guy. I'm a bundler.
Oh, because there's a lot of good stuff. So I see where the bundle comes in. Bundle.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
What happens?
I didn't have a way.
Donovan never threw that pick in 03.
You mean the Rondé Barber who's still running?
Yep.
I think
Running right at me at the vet. I can picture him running right at me.
I think I saw one that was good
Don't
from.
remind me. I still have nightmares.
I know, and there was the Ja Rule
Carter.
concert that happened
Joe
during
Carter pitch,
halftime.
Mitch Williams.
I was in section 745.
I saw one in the
Mitchy
chat.
poo.
That Mitch Carter one was good. I mean, not Mitch Carter. I said Mitch Carter.
No, you
Mitch
got it. That
Williams.
was
the
Mitch
Joe Carter.
Joe Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mitch is so long ago. That's why.
Yeah, that was 93.
Ryan Ralph weren't even born
cut.
then.
Nope. And guess what? I'm not upset by that. I'm glad I didn't live
Just
through
a
that
little
heartbreak.
pebble in the lake.
I was barely alive in '93.
Tom, what are you voting, Tom? What are we at 4?
I think we're at 4.
What was 3?
Kawhi.
2 was Ben. 3 was Kawhi. Are we going Kawhi over T.O.? Yes.
Yeah, I agree. T.O. balled out that game.
No,
It'd be different if he didn't play.
What happens if he was healthy? Okay. Well, that was all. I'm fine with Kawhi. Whatever. It's a big bounce, so that can be 3. So we're on 4. So we go.
I got one idea for what if the dream team of 2011 was actually a good team? What if Sean McDermott wasn't fired and we didn't replace him with the offensive line coach and Juan Castillo? and having those signings in Nnamdi Asamoah and Jason Babbitt, where would this team be instead of 8-8?
So you're saying, what if the dream team was actually the dream team?
Yes.
All right, and I'm going to piggyback off of his and give one that I think is worthy. What if they actually paired a star with Allen Iverson after 2000, even 2000?
Get a championship.
Never did it.
Easy.
Never did it. They just never did it. It was always too late.
Definitely win a championship.
I don't think so.
So Tom's going Allen. Ralphie, what's your vote?
Tom's still going T.O.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's going
Allen 4. No, I'm going Allen 4 because I think that's that was something that was talked about for a decade. Like that wasn't something talked about for like 1 year. That was talked about for a substantial amount of time. And from the Tony Koo coaches to the Keith Van Horns to the late in their career Chris Webber. I remember every one of them. All right,
Coleman.
Like they were Coleman, guys who couldn't play anymore. Right, and like they never gave him the guy who could still play. And then he finally went and did that, but it was too late for him when he went to Denver with Carmelo. It was just too late. It's too late. If they did that in 2002, 2003, or is he at the top of his game? What happens? I don't know.
Ralphie, what's your vote for 4?
Yeah, I'll go AI.
Frank?
I will go with the dream team.
All right, keep track on your notepad because I think there's going to be a lot of write-ins.
I think this is going to be a lot, different. I'm trying to think. Do I like the AI one over Andy? Kind of like the Andy one.
All right, he's going Andy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Andy. What if Andy won a ring in Philly?
Noah?
I gotta go, Andy.
I like
I
how
mean, if he
Noah's
knew
thinking.
how to manage a clock back then.
Back then, he still doesn't know how.
Well, with a player like Mahomes, he can kind of get away with it.
Greg?
I was waiting for the Noah.
I know. So was I. Would you like to write one in, or do you want to continue on another list?
No. I'll go AI.
We have 3, 1, and 2.
And I'll go AI.
All right.
Damn. I just
have a winner for number 4.
I didn't even think of that one until last second.
What if the Phillies had a bullpen? Jason, what year?
What if Gabe Kapler actually like didn't spit out ice cream? What if? So 5?
I'm going Phillies 2011.
What if Ryan Howard doesn't get hurt?
And Cliffley doesn't blow the
the whole
lead.
The combo
disaster.
one? Okay.
Mhm.
I'm there with that. That's fine. That's a big one too.
I still have nightmares.
I mean, in reality, those are 2 huge singular moments anyway.
Yeah.
But
When he got hurt, was he at the height or was he coming off?
No, he was at the height.
no, he was still ascending.
He was still ascending. Well, I mean, that was after.
He was at his peak. I mean, well, he was at his prime.
Yeah.
He was at his prime. Yeah.
He was great.
If he doesn't get hurt, he's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that injury then too. Like
that injury
is
killed
he
his Hall of Fame.
questionable Hall of Fame at this point?
He's
now?
already off.
He's off.
Oh, he's already off.
He didn't get enough. He didn't get enough votes in year 1 to even continue.
No, he didn't get enough percentage of the votes to even stay on.
5.9%. You need 7? You need 7% to stay on?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's
what did he get?
I'm at
5.9.
Yeah,
oh wow.
I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer. But the problem is for him is he was the most feared hitter in baseball for 4 to 5 years, say. At least 4, right? Most feared hitter in the game. And the longevity was stripped from him because once you lose your legs in your lower half, where he generated all his power from, it's over. And then he became a shell. He became slow. You know, you could just tell that nothing was still going right for him. Like, and this is over a decade ago too. And not saying that, like, what was it, the ACL or the Achilles?
No,
I'm sorry, the Achilles.
The Achilles.
It was the Achilles, and we know about Achilles injuries. And I always thought that he would bounce back after 1 year of that. But also remember the grind of baseball too, where it's 162, and it just never was able to get because there's no layoff, right? Really. Yep. So it's like it never it got its break, it got time, right? but it never like got a full chance like an NFL season where like, I can let it really breathe this offseason a little bit, right? I can give it a month of fresh air, right? And then I can get back to it. And then back then the Achilles was almost the ACL was 25 years ago, right? It was almost like, you're done.
The shockwaves it calls too, Tom, just in the front office, because they decided to go with more of a winning now approach for the next couple of years because they were waiting for him to not resurrect his career, but show signs of what he was before that injury, and he never did.
Resurrect. Resurrect's the right word. I mean, that's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for the guy to come back in at 45 home runs and knock it out. And in big spots come up and do what he did for 4 years, which was all his home runs were big-time home runs. I always talk about hollow home run guys, right? There's a lot of hollow home run guys floating around Major League Baseball. And a home run's never hollow. But you understand what I'm saying. There's the guys who hit you the home runs. You're in a 3-3 game, right, in the eighth, and this guy comes up and barrels one up and hits one out, or gets a big hit in big spots, right? I'm a big spot hit guy, right? Like if you're watching 162, you sort of know, like, okay, this guy will get it. This guy will go 4 for 4, right? And we're down 10-0, right? Or like I would joke
that's
around.
number 2, Bill.
I would joke around about Reese, like, okay, we would get a homer down 7-0. Oh, what does that do for me? So it's 7-1 now, right? Like, and it's not a shot. You still got to hit a homer. Like, that's hard to do.
Yeah. No, and you also look at that. That's obviously the 4 aces, right? And that's how that team was constructed. To get the 4 aces, you had to give up the likes of, you had to let Jason Worth walk, right? You had to let Shane Victorino walk. And you had to let some of these other guys on the offensive side that could have helped carry an injury-prone Ryan Howard in the previous years because you loaded up on pitching. So that whole team was built around pitching, Ryan, Chase, and Jimmy. You know what I mean? Because you let those guys walk instead of maybe signing 3 pitchers and keeping those other guys. So they made a clear decision to build around, one of the most feared hitters in baseball, if not, the most feared, to make that run. And it is what it is.
He brought in guys like Hunter Pence and different things to try to like put these things around it that could like resurrect it. It just never happened. I think it's number 5. I mean, I want to make an executive decision. And, it's 5. It's 5. So much happened after that.
All in favor?
Yeah, you're good. I'm good.
Yep, you're good.
All right. So we got another.
Hey, Tom.
Yes, Mr. Eaton.
Here's a question
Sure.
regarding Howard. What if there was the universal DH in 2011? Or, I'm sorry, in 2012 or after his Achilles injury? Do you think there's a shot that he doesn't decline nearly as fast?
Yeah, I think you get a guy hitting more 35 a year, right? Just laying off it a little bit, maybe for a year could have really helped it. I don't know, right? I got to be the doctor back then, but I would have got to assume that if you're not having to run out on the field and you're just having at bats, right? Like, maybe you can still stay close towards your peak.
But on that same token, the next team that signed him was Colorado, right? So it wasn't even like an AL team took a shot at him to even give him a chance at the DH either, right? You know what I mean? So it's definitely an interesting question. I think I know Ryan always struggled, and he always talked about struggling in the DH role because he was always one of those guys that got his flow from playing the game, right? Being engaged and he didn't really necessarily wanted to be a full-time DH, at least in the middle of his peak.
But he wasn't a good first baseman, though, right?
He was average.
He's kind of second.
Towards the end of his career, he struggled a little.
I was about to say, I remember hearing like he wasn't even a good first baseman.
No, he could pick. He was fine fielding it and picking balls and catching balls over there. He just had a problem throwing the second at times. Like,
compared to the corner spots that we're stuck with now, he was like friggin' Gold Glove.
Yeah. You're looking back, he's like Rico Brony.
Yeah. It's like, God, you didn't know how good we had it.
All right, so we did.
Von Hayes 5 for 1. What if Von Hayes didn't get traded?
Oh my God! What? Yes.
What if Darren Dalton didn't see aliens?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Tonight we're not going to do aliens tonight. Most anticipated debuts we did. We did biggest what ifs. That's scrolling on the bottom right now. So Carson Wentz doesn't tear his ACL versus Rams. What happens? What if? What if? Did we not win a Super Bowl? Did we win numerous ones? Is he still here? So many things to talk about. Ben Simmons, number 2. Did we get the Ben Simmons as advertised? Magic, no HIV, and LeBron? We never got it. Kawhi misses the shot in 2019 is number 3. What happens after that? Do we win a title? Do we go to one? 4, Allen Iverson actually gets the other star, gets help. What goes on? Does Allen win one? Right? Which he was 31 ranked in the top 75, right? Is he top 15 if he has one? Because you almost get punishment for not having one when you're that great. Like Allen Iverson's greatness was just more global for the game because he was so great. Everybody wanted to be him. But if you got a star to play with, what happens? And then number 5 is the Phillies don't collapse in 2011, and that's Cliff Lee blowing a 4-0 lead and Ryan Howard then tearing and rupturing his Achilles.
Literally collapses.
Yes.
I cried when he hit the ground.
Me too. He was my favorite.
It looked like it hurt.
I knew baseball was over.
Yep. And I love Chase and I love Jimmy.
It looked like Major League, right? When he was running, when he hit the bunt, right? It looked like Major League.
The catcher.
His old ass trying
Jake
to get
Taylor.
The first place.
Oh my God.
That's what it looked like.
So the next one is Philadelphia's most hated. Now I got a question about that, but that's going to be brought to you by Araya Public Adjusting. My good friend Sean Klein, great friend of A2D. They run a great company over there, and if you have any damage to your home or property, we may be able to help. Don't fight your homeowner's insurance alone. Contact Araya Public Adjusting, 813-564-3364. Go check them out. Tell them the boys from A2D Radio sent you. So it was the most hated, obviously, people who played here, right? Okay, because I hate a lot of people outside of here, so that could go on.
Do you and Frank asked this question last night, which is a great question. Do you want to just keep it players, or do you want to open it up to coaches and front office?
I think players make sense.
Yeah, we can take the players. There's enough.
I already know who number 1 is for players.
Well, it should be.
As it should be.
It's 25. Just
Okay.
shoot the board with that one.
Yeah, Richard Simmons. Yep.
Yep. Richard Simmons is number 1 on the list. That should be unanimously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not even close. He's the biggest crumb in a decade. He's my biggest crumb I've ever watching sports. Like of guys that didn't like commit heinous crimes, right? Like he's the biggest crumb that didn't create that didn't do something heinous, right, to somebody else. Like didn't commit a terrible crime. He's the most hated. Did all this passively aggressively.
I'll keep it Sixers for 2. Al Horford. Hated him before, hated him during, and really hated him after.
I didn't really hate Al.
I hated Anna. I don't know how much. I really didn't hate
There's
Al.
actually some votes for her in here, Tyler Coughlin.
I think Orlando Scandrick is a good one.
Oh,
That is a good one.
that is a good one.
See, I don't put weight with him because he at least didn't have $100 million next to his
Yeah,
name.
but he
just
talks
sucked.
so fucking much.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He keeps talking. You know what I mean?
I put him in like Sean Rodriguez in the same thing. It's like you just sucked and you talked.
And then he was so fake. You remember that video came out where he was, you know what I mean? He was sucking Malcolm off. And that's why you're the leader. That's why you're the captain. And then this motherfucker coming talking shit on wherever he's on with Skip and them. Like, shut the fuck up, man. It's almost 11:30 at night. You got me cursing at night, man.
I mean, we could go the whole Horford family.
I'm not gonna lie. I still dislike this player. DeMarco Murray left a bad taste in my mouth. Bad taste.
Yeah,
Quit. Didn't want to play no
15
more.
squad.
Yep. Didn't want to
chunk
play
of
no
that.
more.
Can we just say Cowboys?
Yeah, he clearly didn't want to be in an Eagles uniform. That's
Didn't want to
damn
be
sure.
here after 3 games.
What about Jalen?
Wanted to run back to Uncle Jerry. Yeah, I cannot stand DeMarco Murray.
Jalen Reagor's up there too.
Jalen
yeah.
Reagor's definitely up there.
Yep. High pick, sucks, and he talks.
Yep.
Triple threat.
Yeah, I don't know. Was he been here a year?
2.
Two.
This will be his 3rd.
This will be his 3rd.
I hate him.
He reminds me.
Just release
They're not going to.
Oh shit! I know they're not gonna. They're gonna have to eat the money if they do. Who the fuck cares? Get rid of him. He can't fucking play.
I thought he was
put him in the Russ or Watson deal. Not saying the other team wants him, but
And fucking, I'll trade him for a bag of trash. Probably get more out of that.
You know who's a good one too? Another one is a good one. Number 5. People hate Donovan here. I don't know why, but they do.
They do love to hate him. I mean,
and they love to hate 5,
and they come out of the wickets to hate him.
5, man. They really do. Like he.
I feel dirty putting him on the West.
People hate Donovan in this fucking city.
I just feel dirty putting him on the West. I just feel dirty.
He's like a 50-50 guy. It's like you've got people who love him and you've got people who absolutely hate him.
But how? I just don't understand. How can you hate him?
I know. I never understood it for years. I never understood.
I just don't know.
Yes, he's got his flaws, but what are you signing up for in that run? Like what
the success he had here, and they just hate him. Like you could, I mean, people have Wentz over him. Obviously, they have Foles over him. Foles is, Jesus here. So, it can't. Donovan gets crushed in Philly, crushed. And then even when he talks,
I'm not gonna lie, Donovan's been unfairly criticized. There's no doubt, and there's many years where he had no receivers to work with, and we ended up in the NFC title game. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, some of that, of course, was we had some damn good defenses then. We had a lot of top 5 defenses that Jim Johnson was rolling out there. But, I mean, there's no doubt, Donovan had to do a lot of that on his own on the offensive side of the ball.
And then when he talks, right, when they ask him for his opinion, we're just all like, shut up. People are like, just shut up. Like, stop talking. Why are you still around? Talking? Why are you giving any information or any talks about the Philadelphia Eagles? It's not like you played for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just say, yo, I'm telling you, man.
I like you're the best quarterback in franchise history.
We hate Donovan here for whatever reason we do. I love Donovan.
Can we put an asterisk and say, like,
I like him. I appreciate everything he did for this city.
Tom, who are you voting?
There's a lot of names.
Yeah.
JD Drew.
Was JD Drew before 2000 though?
I think JD Drew was before 2000, but Scott Rowland is a good one.
Scotty should definitely be somewhere here on here.
Is that because he went to the Cardinals?
Yep, and he called St. Louis. He called it a baseball heaven, and then he criticized Phillies fans, and even after his
but he's not
days
wrong.
in the National League when he was in Toronto, whenever he made that odd appearance as a Blue Jay, they still booed him.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't wrong. He didn't want to play at the vet. That's what it was. Phillies fans couldn't take the truth of that. He didn't want to play on artificial turf. He wanted to play on grass, and I can't blame him for it. I can't hate a top 5, a surefire Hall of Fame third baseman though. I can't. I understand the hate he gets though. I mean, Michael Martinez. We can go off. We can go. I mean, sorry to do this to Tommy, but Odubel Herrera.
Yeah. Forgot all about that guy.
I know somewhere in the chat somebody said Jonathan Papelbon.
Freddie. What did Tyler say? Papelbon's a coin flip. I do think Papelbon is a coin flip.
Yeah.
I'll put a vote in for Pat.
Ralphie, who are you going with for 2? Who's your vote?
Damn it is not a name of a player.
I'm going Jalen Reagor because he's a piece of shit.
Okay, 1 vote for Reagor. 2 for
Reagor.
3 for Reagor.
I guess
There
it's
you
Reagor.
go, Reagor.
4 for Reagor.
All right.
It's probably the biggest achievement he'll ever have in his career.
Yeah.
All right, I'll vote for number 3. I'll put the Horford family.
Horford family.
You might as well throw the Jenners in there too. For taking Ben's manhood away.
Nah, Devin's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's a myth. Ralphie?
What?
What do you want?
What? What do you mean what?
What do you mean, what?
You're live.
Yeah, I know.
Who are you voting?
Who's
Fuck
number
it, we'll
three?
do it live.
Oh,
This guy said what?
You know, Al Horford's a good one. I'll go Al Horford.
Okay.
You guys literally hate that dude. He's
Yeah.
probably a great guy.
Nice.
No.
Nothing good about that family.
He's probably a great guy. He speaks
Probably
like three
nice
languages.
Frank?
I am going to go with one Mr. Al Horford.
I'm going Donovan.
Okay, 3-1. Noah?
We brought up Eagles. Noah's going Donovan.
I don't think
What?
so. I don't think he would ever go Donovan.
What, for most hated Philly athlete?
Yes, sir.
Oh, dude, I appreciate everything Donovan did. I mean, minus throwing up in the Super Bowl, but
Losing the
look,
Super Bowl.
he had a damn good career here. And if you remember that 99 draft, and you look at all those other QBs that were drafted in the first round, most of the rest of them were trash. Kate
that Tim
McNown, Tim Couch, Tim Potato Couch, Couch Potato, whatever you want to call him. Fucking, was Achilles Smith in that draft?
Yes.
No idea.
I mean, Dante Culpepper had it. Yeah, he was okay. But man, I mean, it wasn't even close. We clearly got the best quarterback in that.
For sure, but I mean,
No, we're not talking we hate him.
I'm not saying we hate him. I'm just
We're
saying
talking about
people
the
in this
city hates him.
Like he is hated in this city. Nobody's wearing a Donovan McNabb jersey anymore, ever. You don't see that anymore.
So, Noah, are you going Horford or are you writing somebody else in for number 3?
Hated Philadelphia. Right now,
I'm going Scott.
I'll
going
say
Scott Roll.
Jalen Rager.
We already
Well, he
picked-
was already taken.
He was already taken.
That
All
was like an
right.
hour ago. You're an hour late.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry, no. It's past my bedtime too, bro.
Day late, dollar short. Who knows? Maybe I'll even be late to work tomorrow. Yeah, maybe I'll just stumble in at 6 a.m. and just say fuck it and turn around and go home.
That would be good.
No, let me know how that works out. Greg?
Most hated Philadelphia athlete.
Tommy threw me off with the Rowan. Tommy, do you hate Rowan?
No, I don't care enough, but he's hated.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with.
Big time.
Yeah.
Like, I
No,
just
definitely.
don't care enough about Al Horford. Like, to me, like those guys, Al Horford wasn't here long enough for me to hate him enough. If that makes sense. Like, I just don't care enough about him. He stopped by for a cup of coffee. See Al. Thanks for coming. You know what I mean? Like, if he was here for like 4 years and like just was like atrocious for 4 years, then I hate him. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't say much. His sister did all the talking. So his sister almost makes you hate the guy. Like, I just didn't. Right, you can give me that look. I mean,
He said the most like impactful thing of that season. He's the one who leaked the info that there was trouble in the locker room.
Okay.
He was the one who started all the issues with the non-accountability. That was him.
Al Horford wasn't here long enough to like give me like a terrible taste. Like I didn't like him when he was on with the Celtics, right? And I didn't care enough when we got him. Like, I thought he was gonna be good. He wasn't, obviously. So like that hatred because he stunk. But I just didn't. I just feel like I just feel like there's a lot of names of like really hated guys here. Like he's part of it. But if he was like here for a while and then like betrayed us, then like the hatred becomes more, right? Like, he didn't betray me. He was a fucking crumb Celtic, came here, right? And it was almost like, all right, you had a cup of coffee. You had a cup of coffee. See you later, Al. You loser. You stink. You were good before you came here. I mean, I'm not saying you can't be on the West. I don't care. You guys can put whatever you want on the West. I just feel like there's so many. Like I said, Horford, when you want to say Bynum, because he almost lied to us. You know what I mean? He was a lie. Like we didn't expect him to get a good player now, Horford. We were expecting to get an all-star in Bynum. Like, you know what I mean? Like Horford
I'm
wasn't.
going to steal one from Chris Dunn. Thanks for checking in. How about JD Drew?
Well, that was before.
We did
That
the
was
two before
before.
2000.
Like people hated rolling and because he like did us dirty, like in a way of like leaving us, right? And like that's where his like dirtiness came from because he was like homegrown, supposed to be Mike Schmidt.
Yep.
And then like
Just didn't want to play the vet.
I'm going to Ben Simmons. Like I'm out.
I don't know. By the end of this whole saga, we might actually be thankful for Andrew Bynum because we ended up getting Embiid out of it.
Yeah. I'm just saying hated that he like we were lied to. Like the Marco, you know what I mean?
Lindros.
Lied to us.
Oh no, a lot of people hate Lindros. I don't.
No, I know.
A lot of people do.
I think
All
it's
the good
kind of that.
ones, you notice like all the good players.
It's kind of like that like Nate was talking about, like the Donovan theory, right? You know what I mean? The Donovan syndrome. Like I don't hate him, but that's going to be my vote for number 3, just because half the city does.
Yeah, I just feel dirty putting them on.
I do too. That's why I want to put an asterisk next to him and be like, we don't hate him.
I do, but it's just true. I just feel like people hate him in this city. They always have. I don't know why, but they do. They hate Donovan McNabb. They do.
Yeah, I think it's
So
all the uneducated fans.
We have 3 Al, 2 Donovan.
So it's out.
So yeah.
Well, Noah can tie it up. He never voted.
Don't do
But
a
then
tie.
he said JD Drew, but that was an illegitimate.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, don't tie it up. Don't make it.
So he was
complicated.
disqualified.
Yes. His vote does not.
I was DQ'd. What did I sign? An incorrect scorecard, Ryan?
Sure. For the sake of time, yes. No. Yes. Do you by default want to put Donovan 4 since he was the second in vote getting, or do you want to go somewhere else with it?
I like Donovan at 4. Since nobody wants to say it.
Yeah, throw him at 4.
Donovan 4, Scott 5.
I don't think he should be on the list.
I would never vote him on the list.
No,
I would never
not
put him
going
on
on
the
the
list.
list.
No way! Don't put him on the list.
No.
I'll never say his name on this list.
I know people
I have,
hate him.
I have, I have
Isn't
another
that crazy
name.
though?
It's unbelievable how much people hate this guy.
It's insane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I would
It's
put
insane.
Everybody on this, we all have respect for him. We all love 5. Or at least I'm just speaking. I'm hoping I'm speaking for everybody because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like we all love 5. All I'm saying is if we're looking at the city itself, people hate Donovan McNabb in this city. They do.
I can understand the hate, but I just can't put him on the list.
It's
I'll go rolling.
insane.
I'll
dude.
go rolling over him.
I'm going Scott
Oh,
Rowland
Rowland's not on there?
and somebody else over Donovan.
I thought
McNabb.
Roland was on there already.
No
I
way.
Put Roland on there.
No, I mean,
We'll put Scotty 4.
listen, Donovan is hated by a lot of people.
He's hated.
I just think like when you have that 50-50 split, the love almost outweighs it. Like the same thing with Carson. Like you can make the case for Carson's hated, right? Like for different reasons, right? Like
He wasn't here long enough. He's not Donovan.
I know he's not
Donovan's-
Donovan, but they
Like,
both
just know, like, why is Donovan even 50-50? Right?
well,
Donovan shouldn't be.
because that's the fan base when it comes to the quarterback position, and it always has been. That's the problem. Like 60% is going to love you, and 40% is going to hate you, but those 40% always seem louder, right? And I think that's where like the Donovan hate came in too, on like, right, because like the callers that would call into the dial, the hate was always louder than the praise.
I completely agree.
You
And
know,
it's really because he lost.
that's it. It all
He
became
choked.
his fault. Everything was his fault. It was nobody else's when we lost games. And again, he's a quarterback, and that's
I
where
mean, it comes with the quarterback position.
it's sad. I mean, listen, if you don't
When we finally got there, and he choked. You can't say he didn't choke. He choked in the Super Bowl.
I mean, we also shouldn't be ashamed of ourselves, Rome. You know what I mean? What I'm saying, be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed about anything.
Right, we sat here and said it's not us, but we understand
us.
where. Yeah.
We understand that he is hated for whatever reason. Like I you know, what I mean, I get it to a point, but it's like he can't even talk Eagles without getting, and then people crush him.
Yeah.
Can't have an
People
opinion.
crush him. people when he starts on this, it's like, why are you even talking? Like, it's not like you
No
played
crush.
for the Eagles. Like, why are you talking? Shut up.
Theo still crushes him. Dude still gets crushed. I mean, I got no problem with him being 5 if it is what it is. Like,
the symmetry.
but we need an asterisk though.
Poetic
I'll
justice.
give you the asterisk.
All right,
Poetic
so-
justice.
true,
5 as number 5.
So what's the confirmation for 3? So I can get this.
Was the
banner
Horford?
going.
Was the Horford?
and then
Horford.
Scotty.
I
The
think it was
Horford clan.
Scotty, and then
And
number
then
5 is number 5 with an asterisk.
Perfect.
Don't feel dirty about it.
No, I mean,
feel dirty
Go
about
get
it.
a shower. You'll feel better. Wash your face off, brush your teeth. It is what it is.
With the Manscaped body wash and
Absolutely.
shampoo.
Go ahead, Greg. Plug it.
Use promo code A2D at checkout for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
I feel dirty typing it in. I just don't think Donovan should be on this list. I think there should be other.
Then I'll type it in. Whatever.
I'll
and
stop
who?
it.
And who?
Yeah, like who's more hated than Donovan?
I mean, a guy who's for me, a guy who I consider pretty hated. I'm going Ilya Bryzgalov. You sign a massive contract, you run your mouth, and you underperform. You were supposed to be the franchise-changing goalie that should have probably helped you win a Stanley Cup, and you failed to perform. And that's what gets me. Mr.
Donovan's more
Universe
hated than him.
keeps running his mouth.
I agree, Greg.
It's louder.
Like I said, I don't know hockey unless you're talking about Wayne Simmons, so I can't help you.
Wayne Simmons play with Ilya Bryzgalov, I think.
Okay, that helps.
There you go.
It was just louder because it was the quarterback. That's all. Like some guys might be more hated than him, but it was like I said, it's just louder.
Here.
That's all you heard.
Does this make it feel better? Hold on. I won't even put his name. I'll just do this. Okay.
Just put 5.
Just 5.
So
It's literally 5.
Number 5 will always love you.
5.
see, now we're clean.
I'll take it. I'm
gonna bathe in holy water after this.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else like that trumps it, like in the chat anywhere. Like there was
No, like I saw.
You might have been away. I said O'Double. You might have stepped away. O'Double.
But this wasn't good enough to make
No, yeah.
right. You almost got to be like you got to be like really good. I didn't even click on that, but you got to be really good. So he.
What about Fultz?
Eh,
He wasn't here long enough.
like that's why
He
that's
wasn't
how
an impact player. That's what I'm saying. Like
That's the problem.
that's the problem. Like Donovan has a legacy here, and we're still talking. Like I said, Donovan, and then 2 saying that it's kind of like a 50-50. You either love him or you hate him. And the fact that he's been here for so long. I mean, he was one of the first people. Didn't he sign like that 12-year contract or whatever? When he was here.
I mean, people were saying
Yeah,
like
something
Nick
like that,
Pavetta,
yeah.
Orlando Scandrick,
Riley Cooper.
But to your point, Tom, all those guys just sucked.
Yeah, they just weren't good.
Bobby Abreu.
Riley Cooper.
Some Jesse said Comcast.
Comcast.
That's a good
Bobby
one
Abreu
to
is the
mention.
one.
Bobby Abreu.
I love Bobby.
I like Bobby.
Yeah, we can all like him, but he was hated.
He's absolutely hated.
Yeah.
I think Aguilar's up there too. People
Yeah,
hated
but he
Aguilar.
won. But he
People still
won.
hate Aguilar.
He won.
Gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night.
All right, no.
All right, Noah.
All right,
See you,
Noah.
brother.
Later, brother.
25 minutes behind you.
Take care,
bro.
guys.
Okay, so
Vic was hated when he started. I remember I went to go see Vic in a preseason game. They had the dog people out there too and everything.
Peter.
Yeah, they had everybody out there. But once he got in the game and he started
Then
winning,
he unleashed that bomb against Washington. The
Yeah.
Monday
Monday Night Massacre. Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
that Packers game just changed everything. After that Packers game, it was over.
We won by we won by 1 million. Right? So we did 3 so far. Now we're on our 4th best and worst move since 2000, and that is brought to you by our good friend Alan Foy of eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change in career or brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty at 302-682-8820. Tell him the boys from A2D sent you. He'll take care of you, Alan. Alan the best. He's the GOAT. So best and worst move since 2000. Holy shit.
All right, which one are we starting first? Best or worst?
I thought it was like big. Okay, never mind.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
All right,
I think for the
Should
Phillies,
be one list, right?
No, best is one, and then worst is one.
So what are we?
let's go with best.
All right.
best.
Like best trade, best move.
Moves, just anything. Signings, draft picks, trades. anything.
Drafting Joel Embiid, number one for me, and not even a Sixers guy.
Who else was in that draft they could have took outside?
Andrew Wiggins
we were
went one,
three.
but everybody wanted to trade up to get the rights to Andrew Wiggins.
Are
He
you
was the
saying,
no- he was
Nate?
the
Are you
no-no.
saying who was on the board at the time?
Yeah, like who was?
I'll check.
Like who came behind?
Behind him,
Because we
Wiggins
had-
went one. Then it was Jabari Parker. He went to Milwaukee at 2.
Milwaukee, yep.
And then 4, I think what wasn't it? What's his name? Dante Exum was 4.
Yes, Dante Exum and Julius Randle was.
Yeah.
We picked them 6th or 7th that year.
4 was Aaron Gordon.
Oh wow. Okay.
5 Dante Exum. 6 Marcus Smart. Then you've got Randall, Stauskas, Noah Vonleh, Alfred
Sauce.
Payton, and then
Sauce
Doug
Castillo.
McDermott 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ralphie. It's Embiid for sure.
What about the signing of Nick Foles?
I actually have bringing back Nick
Oh
Foles.
my
as part
God!
of the
God damn it!
That was my one.
Damn it! Ah, this sucks. This sucks because we're both good. Fuck.
Good. I'm still going with Embiid.
I think. Listen, I think the Foles one trumps Embiid by a little bit because as of right now,
gave
one
us-
gets you a
gave
title,
us
the
the
other
Super
one is
Bowl.
still
He gave
pending.
us life in this city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's kind of like hindsight 2020, but right now one of us gets the one signing gets you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the one.
The
it's
other
like
one probably
lightning in
does.
the
It might get you 2, but that's
Yeah.
still a question right now.
I don't care if it's lightning in the bottle. We still got it.
on that criteria though, Brad Litch.
Damn it, Greg!
Yeah,
I had
no,
him.
no, that's
I had
that,
him on
yeah.
my list too.
That's a good one.
That
Yeah.
was a good one, Greg. Yeah, sign him. He goes
Perfect
perfect. You win the
season.
World Series
Yeah.
or traded for him. Excuse me. You traded for him.
I'm on Nick. I'm on Nick because you don't make that. You don't sign him. You don't win a Super
And
Bowl. That's
You
it.
probably imagine like your backup quarterback being.
Well, we drafted him, right? Andy drafted him, right?
Andy
Then
drafted
traded-
him.
then Chip
then
traded
him.
traded him for Sam Bradford. Then we bring him back.
Talked him out of retirement.
Yeah, you know what? Give me Foles one. Give me Foles one.
3,
I'm okay with Foles.
Foles and then Embiid for 2.
I'll take the ring.
And it was at this time where I started to hate Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Just because of the overreactions. But no, it absolutely is. Because I mean, you even look at his career path up until that. You know what I mean? Like, was a monster for 1 year here.
Yeah.
Gets dealt, contemplates retirement.
Yeah.
His third string with Andy,
Yeah.
and then wins the Super Bowl.
Wins a Super Bowl and walks into 100 mil. Yep.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And
What a
gets a
life.
statue.
What a story, huh? Jesus. Maybe
He's
that'll
one
be
of
the
the
new
biggest-
movie that comes out. Instead of
He's-
doing Kurt Warner's life, they'll do Nick Foles' life.
And then Tom Brady will direct it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we all put Embiid 2, or is there another one?
I'm fine with putting Embiid at 2.
Yeah, I like Embiid too. I would say you go Foles, Embiid, and Lidge for your top 3. If anybody disagrees with that,
Any objections, Greg and Nate?
No.
No, I'm good with that.
I don't know. There's some good, again, revisionist history.
Pope, that's a great one. Jason Worth.
There's some
what
like
about Shane Victorino?
there's some like baseball ones like that are close.
Shane Victorino was Rule 5, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Hit
Did
that
we draft?
grand slam against the Brewers, like all for CC.
We drafted Hamels, right?
We drafted
Yes.
all four of
Yes.
them.
We drafted all of them. All four, yeah.
Like I can make the case that the drafting of all four like trump it all, but you could put the drafting of Ryan Howard in there. You could put you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how I feel about Joel. It's my son. It's
almost like do we do a Greg Milakovic bundle with the Phillies, like the formation of the core four? Because who was that? Pat
Yeah,
Gillick?
then I would.
No, that was Ed Wade.
Ed Wade.
Oh,
That was Ed Wade.
Ed Wade gets
creates
no
the
love
core
for
four.
what he
No,
what he
Pat Gillick-
created.
No love, Greg, whatsoever, and that man was dealing.
He was hated, but I mean that foursome sweeps like in the 90s, right? Like he didn't.
We at least knew he could draft.
got message sweeps and tell him we're in the last 2 decades. You know what I mean?
2000 sweeps. 2000.
90 Dexter was a great move though. Then he was a great move. Great interview too. Great interview. So
Yeah, how about we
Should we
do
just put Ed Wade's name as the number 2? Just Ed Wade.
Ed Wade develops the core four.
So how about Nick Foles 1 and then the core 4 2?
yeah,
And then we could do Embiid 3.
Yeah, because again, like you said, Tom, we all love Embiid, but those are 2 examples which we know today resulted in titles.
yeah.
We think, and we're very comfortable, well, maybe not Greg, that this will result in a Sixers title, but we don't know
put
that yet.
in instead of the kids that we drafted? Like, do we keep it as like trades and moves like that? Because then I would almost take Embiid out, so I don't want to necessarily do that. But is it like the Lynch signing because he was perfect? Like that's where I question it. Like,
Yeah, but no, I'm personally. I mean, and I think it's you could go either way. I would go with the core 4 because I think they had as much of, if not more, of a combined impact.
Oh, of course,
than Lidge, right?
I'm not questioning that. Just to keep it, if you had to keep it to one person, would you say like that signing because it was a move?
Well, I mean, to Greg's point, I hear what you're saying, Tom, but it's like,
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't.
I know what you're doing. I
want him to get the best thing in there for us.
like Lidge was kind of the same thing as Foles, in my opinion, to where it was like lightning in a bottle. Not that he wasn't good in 2009. But like if you're looking at, go ahead, Greg. I was gonna
say if you go Lidge for being a move, then we almost kind of can't put Joel in there if you're kind of taking away from being the drafted, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what also we're saying. Yeah. So
we're just saying signings, not drafting.
Well, it depends how we do it, right? But I mean, I'm okay with saying the core 4. Like it's fine. They were great moves.
Going back to a conversation we had earlier. To
I actually like I saw somebody say Malcolm Jenkins. I actually like Malcolm over T.O.
I think LeGarrette Blount should be on here. Maybe not 2, but somewhere.
Only reason why I say Malcolm because he brought what we were missing in Doc, right? It was different. It looked different, but it was the same, somewhat of an impact.
He brought you a leader on your defense.
Yeah, it might even be more impactful because he got the ring.
I agree with Malcolm on that because
I saw that and I was like, wow, Malcolm's a really good one.
Because
if he goes into the Hall, he might go as an Eagle. You know what I mean? Or he might say he would go as an Eagle.
Did he win with New Orleans too?
Yeah, they got one.
Yes,
he did. Okay, I was trying to remember if we were his only Huckleberry.
Yeah, but I really like that Malcolm one. That Malcolm one's a good one. Where he is on the list, I don't know, but Malcolm, we were looking for that so hard with Dog. We were looking for that, so Malcolm's a really good one.
It's funny too. To that point, right? You could go back and say, we were looking for it since we drafted BG and not Earl Thomas, right? You know what I mean? Like you can almost go back that far. And of course the parallels of what BG did that year and in that Super Bowl.
I always fight for my guy BG, man. Everybody hated it. I loved it. I loved it because you can never have enough pass rushers, even though Earl is probably a gold jacket guy. But to me, BG still has the greatest play in Eagles Super Bowl history. That's just my opinion.
So you want to go Malcolm 3 behind core 4?
I think Malcolm's good, man. Malcolm's a really good one.
Yeah, whoever said that in the chat, great call out. I'll go Malcolm 3.
Ralphie, Frank,
Jesse, a member.
Throw Malcolm
Jesse.
on there.
Good call out, Jesse.
Remember.
There.
There's a lot of mentions for Alshon. It's tough because it ended really bad.
Yeah, it is sour.
But I don't think we get to the bowl without him, though.
No.
Yeah. He
plays on the ruptured or the torn shoulder.
Yeah, rotator cuff.
Rotator cuff.
We just say
he had some big fucking catches on the playoff run.
Yeah, I hear you tell me the free agent signings of 2018.
The offseason signing.
Yeah, so we just bundle this up. I'm just asking.
Might as well.
Off-season of 2017.
But didn't Malcolm come in before that though?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. He was there with
on the chip teams. He was on the chip teams.
But you're right. You can make an argument for Alshon, for Patrick Peterson or Patrick Patterson, Patrick Robinson, one of those guys.
J.J. was in there.
J.J.
What a goddamn Patricks.
Chris Long, LeGarrette Blunt's in there.
Chris Long, the great one, yeah.
Okay, does that trump Malcolm then? So if we're bundling that up, do we put that three?
Malcolm. I don't think so. That's my opinion, though.
I mean, that's a lot of players.
Those guys are all gone.
That's a lot of players that like did big parts for that season. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but Malcolm was a leader.
Yeah, I get that.
He was a leader when you badly needed one on defense. Those guys were role players.
Not Alshon, not Blunt. Not long in the playoffs.
They were vets. Yeah, they were vets. But they were gone afterwards. How many stayed around? Nobody stayed around a year.
Yeah, why? It doesn't matter afterwards. You get the bowl. Get the title. I don't care. Winning that bowl solves a lot of issues.
Oh, it did.
We got to count. We put Foles by himself, but then we would have to like count Foles.
Yeah, so it's almost like it's the offseason go one. We would have to bundle. We would have to bundle that up to one.
And then, maybe Malcolm gets some love. You know what I mean? On the list.
Yeah, then Malcolm can stay at 3.
You know, we just bundle Nick, all the moves.
Yeah, that's fine. So off season, 2017 off season.
Yeah, because every move was a
so then if we have that at 1, then who goes up to 1?
That does.
All
right. That's Nick Foles' spot because they're together. And then 2's the Phillies.
And then 3's Malcolm.
Yep.
3's Malcolm. 4's Embiid.
Number 5.
We can all agree there. 4's Embiid.
Yeah, no question.
There are only 2 championship teams, so we took enough meat off the bone there.
I mean, 4 years into them, I mean, would you say Harper? I mean, you're 4 years, but haven't made the playoffs.
No, can't.
Not him.
Greg's gonna say he won an MVP.
I was just gonna say he don't have an MVP.
Waiting for it.
I mean, Flyers. I mean,
outside
of Forsberg at 37 and every other player they got out of their primes at 37 and 40 years old. I mean, the only one that I can really think of is Danny Briere, right? I mean, he's loved in the city, but they didn't win anything. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised nobody's thrown what about getting Claude Giroux? I'm surprised nobody's gone. Not on the show. I'm talking comments.
What about trading Carson Wentz?
No, we need to figure out how those picks play out too.
I don't even know if it matters, but I mean, it's literally a disaster in Indianapolis. I mean, they're talking they have to get him out of the locker room.
It matters and doesn't matter. That's the funny thing about it.
I know. Yeah. It's such a seesaw effect.
Yeah, you're right. It matters who you get, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You got rid of a ton of money and a guy who looks like he just
that locker room's on fire. That locker room is on fire by the way those reporters are talking about him in Indianapolis. And they paid to get him.
Hard Knocks. I watched a ton of Hard Knocks. I feel like they were a good group together. Camera lies. I mean, that's a tough one to go with. I get it. Just throwing shit out for 5.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like we're just throwing shit at the wall.
Because it's got to be great moves. Like, best moves. Like, what was the other best move?
it's sad because when we get to the worst moves, we're gonna have 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, what about was Holliday?
Signing Roy.
No, you traded for him. I mean, yeah, could do that, or the 7 trades of Cliff Lee. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Boo that man. But you end up giving up nothing for the greatest pitcher in baseball for 3 years.
I think it's the Bradford trade.
Yeah, I actually have it on the list.
Getting the number one. The number one.
And you got Barnett with
first round over.
And I know he stinks now, but again, butterfly effect with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Bradford trade. Put that down. Yeah, you get a first round pick out of Sam Bradford. Yeah.
9 days before the season.
Yep.
I always liked Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't know. Bradford's 5.
I was the minority, man, but I thought Bradford was not. I didn't think he was that bad.
I loved him. I love Sammy Sleeves.
I thought because he get the ball out fast. He was,
He looked like that kid on your Pee Wee team that he had a small head, so the helmet was always big on him.
Yeah. Bill, he's a part of the number one.
Bill, yeah, he's lumped into one. Bill.
Epic Eagle saying getting a first and a third was insane.
Yeah, it was. It was such a great deal.
All right, Tom, you're voting for Wentz. You said the Wentz trade.
No, I didn't. I just was throwing stuff out.
Okay.
I didn't vote yet. I was just trying to give some options out there, so it created more ideas. I don't know. I'm going to say trading, I'm going to go back to the well. Trading Ben Simmons for James Harden.
Ralphie?
Yeah, that's a good one.
We all set up for this. It was all set up, It was all set up at the beginning here when we're talking about it. So I'll just go back to the well because we got rid of that guy finally, and we got a star back.
That's crazy. That's one of the biggest trades in like the last 20 years. I guess so. It would make sense.
You going with that one, Nate?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and hook my wagon to that one. I can't think of anything else that would be trumps that. That would be significant enough.
Don says the way how we moved around the board,
it's
trading back
soon,
and trading back up.
It's too soon. Only 1 year.
Yeah, I love Devontae, but
he wasn't even the first. He wasn't the first receiver off the board.
So. Third.
He was. He was there for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ralphie, where are you going? Which one?
I just lost it. The what's it called?
The Harden deal. The Harden.
Yeah, the Ben Simmons. Excuse me. Yeah. Sorry.
Frank?
I'm going to go with the Sam Bradford trade to Minnesota.
Okay, so that's 2. So 3-2. Greg?
Go Ben Simmons.
Okay.
All right.
What was that, 4 or 5? Was that 5?
That was 5.
That was 5.
Okay.
All right, this one should be easy. Worst mistakes because there's a lot of them.
Too many count.
Too many. Yep. Oh, Christ.
You have an early vote, Ralphie, for one?
Hiring in the Colangelos for the Sixers. Number 1. Any ifers? No.
I'm going the entire Markelle Fultz era.
Okay. How about holding on to Howard, Utley, and Rollins way too long? How about not giving T.O. his money?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say.
How about Flyers signing players at 36 and 37 out of their primes, bro? They're still superstars.
The risk off
Peter
contract.
Forsberg.
Ralphie's done his research on this topic.
Vinny LeCavier.
Yeah,
Vinny
Vinny,
LeCavier.
Peter Forsberg.
Holding on to Andrew
Jeremy
McConnell
Roenick.
for so long.
I love.
I'm going.
I love me some Peter Forsberg though.
Nate?
1 year. 1 year. 1 year. Didn't even want to be here.
I always had some really shitty deals. I mean, shitty drafts. really shitty drafts. Like one's just eye openers. She's just like, I mean, hey, who was most hated? Who did we take? Rager over Jefferson? Was it that year?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
correct.
definitely going to be on here somewhere. The Rager pick.
He's got. You know what I mean? A lot of them. He's got a lot of them. Couple ones we can praise him, but some ones is just like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
The only reason why I put Fultz over Rager is just because it was the number 1 overall pick that you traded up to get. That's the only reason why I put that up over that.
Yeah. All right, boys, I'm gonna get out of here. It's about
All right, Nate.
past my bedtime.
Nate,
Finish
brother.
up the slate.
Members still with us. I know, Tommy, you'll probably say a little bit later. Me and Frank are getting a new show together for just the members. So if you're not a member, I don't know if it's pinned in the YouTube link, but make sure you become a member. $9.99 a month. You get your picks from your boy and the Money Pot team. But we're also giving out jerseys, they're giving out gift cards, they're giving out, I don't even know what else they're giving out. They're giving out shirts, we're giving out shout outs, all that stuff. Don, if it expired, fucking up. Because I'm still hitting them. You've seen it. People on the members, if you remember, on my picks on the weekend, you'll get a notification. So make sure you hit that notification, right? So you'll know when I'm dropping picks. And you'll just log in like you listen and watch it. Quick 3, 4, 5 minute, of me just doing my little rant on YouTube. And I'm giving you the picks right then and there. We've had some pretty good weekends. March Madness is coming up. So,
I took the Stafford bet for the Super Bowl, the over rushing for 5.5. That one hit.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had a couple good ones hit during the Super Bowl. A couple good ones to hit during the Super Bowl. Me and Frank getting a new members only show together. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're still
members
getting together,
only,
but it is coming.
Sorry.
It is coming.
In progress.
So
only members.
look out for that.
Sorry.
The WIP, work in progress.
There you go.
The good kind of WIP.
See how this is going to work? Me and Frank work well. You see how we just play off each other? See how
there.
great that was? Did you see how great this? It's like Riggs and Murtaugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like Donovan and T.O.
You know what I mean? All right, fellas, I'm out of here.
All righty. See you, Nate.
See you, brother.
All right.
See you, my man.
I guess you could go Fultz the trade up for him.
The Andrew Bynum trade.
That's a good one. There's so many that can take the cake.
Danny Watkins.
Danny Watkins, that's a good
Marcus
one.
Smith.
We could go
Marcus
back.
Smith.
We could go back to what someone brought it up earlier: the trading of Carter and Richards.
Yeah.
I mean, with Carter and Richards, I know they both didn't have good relations with who was the head coach at the time. It was LaPierre at the time. Oh, Laviolette, yeah, Laviolette. Their relations weren't the.
They like the party. They like the party. That's why they were trading.
A lot of stories about Richards.
Well.
Yep.
They like the party at Temple. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. And Seattle. Yep. Don't forget there.
I mean, firing Ron Hextall before just getting into his plans of developing young players.
I can't give him a vote of confidence though after what came out with him and Nolan Patrick. How everybody told him not to take Nolan Patrick.
Yeah,
I'm not siding with him. Maybe they should have got him out of the building
that's only
sooner.
one. That's only one thing, though, right?
What do you mean? It's a
in
big
general,
friggin'
though,
pick. He's the only guy who didn't pan out of that draft.
The number 2 overall pick, bro.
Don't do that.
I understand. I understand that.
Were very high on
that, but
Patrick,
we were too impatient with him. Dude was doing the same thing with LA.
How were you
and LA won 2 cups out of it.
The Flyers,
the number 2 overall pick, dude.
Stop it.
Okay.
Everybody in the league is winning with puppies.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
and
though.
we hold on to guys
till
they're 30 and then wonder why we
It was either Nico or Nolan going 1 or 2, though, dude.
Yeah.
It was either Nico or Nolan going 1 or 2 that year. It was a coin flip.
Yep.
You know it, Greg. Come on now.
I knew it. Leading up to that draft, nobody knew.
It was either him or Nico going number 1 or number 2.
To take him. Nobody had a gun to his head.
Give me a break.
Not.
Too impatient with the guy.
If you're Ron Hextall,
I was doing the same thing
too.
we did with LA, and he won cups doing the same thing he did with LA.
He didn't win any cups in LA.
Yeah, stop that.
What do you mean?
Dean or Michael Lombardi won all the cups in LA.
Come on.
He was an assistant.
What the hell are you talking about?
Stop. You were too impatient with the guy, and now it's backfiring.
Tell him, Jesse. Tell him.
Now it's yeah, okay, yeah. Hindsight 2020. Obviously, it's the pick now. At the time, but at the time, Nico or Nolan were going 1 or 2.
Yep.
Well, hindsight 2020. We can do the same thing with any pick, Ralphie.
Exactly.
But it doesn't take away that it sucked.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with that. But at the time, it was either those two guys were going 1 or 2.
A little bit of disagreement.
Yeah, there's a lot of disagreement. You're fighting for a guy who's been fired.
Now there is.
Stinks.
I don't disagree. All right, that's enough Flyers talk. Sorry, boring everybody.
but they're probably going to be littered on this board of worst moves.
Oh yeah, exactly, exactly.
There has to be a Flyers move in this worst move. There has to be.
It's the Peter Forsberg one.
I think it's Brizgalov. I think it's the Brizgalov signing.
Dude literally played 1 year here. 1 year here and hated it. Granted, I think you got like Scotty Upshaw and another player and a first rounder out of him.
Yeah.
Dude played 1 year here.
If we're talking Flyers, I think the 3 that need to be up there are either Briz, LeCavalier, or Pronger.
Yeah, but Pronger got a freak accident though, dude.
Was he bowling?
He got hit in the eye and he had to retire.
He had a concussion.
Wrapping this up, I do have to run. So you boys wrap it up.
All right, Tommy. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you got. Who's your number one?
Yeah, break the tie, please.
Do you have a number one, or even if you have another one?
Oh, Fultz is a bad pick too. Fultz and Patrick are like right there.
See, Ralphie? See?
All right. How about this? All right. Don't go Fultz 1, and we'll go Patrick 2.
Now, are we counting the trade up to Fultz?
That's all combined.
Yeah, it's the era of Fultz.
Right.
Yeah, the Markelle Fultz era is 1.
Trading them for
Then
Jonathan Simmons.
We'll do Patrick 2.
The trade out of that whole package was atrocious too.
The only good thing about the Fultz era was that pick that we got in addition to Jonathan Simmons led to Tyrese Maxey. That's the only thing that's good.
The only thing, yeah. All right. I'm out, boys.
See you, Tommy.
See you, Tommy. See you, brother.
Yeah, we'll go Fultz era 1.
Right.
Okay, Frank?
Okay.
And then Patrick 2. Now we just need 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
And there's still a lot in the hat, There's a handful.
Just hiring Gabe Kapler. Oh, no. I'll stop right there. Hiring
Matt
Andy
Klintak.
McPhail, Matt Klintak duo.
Yeah.
Trying to reinvent what the Orioles were, which I never understand. Why would you copy that?
Yeah.
Yes, because Greg, don't you forget. Do not forget, if it wasn't for John Middleton. Okay. I thought he was going somewhere else.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought you were going somewhere else.
I was stealing my picks again.
Ghost in here.
No, I was gonna say, don't forget, like, if it wasn't for John Middleton, Harper probably wouldn't be here because Klintak was pretty much done with that situation and was ready to move on.
Well, yeah, because Klintak wasn't skilled enough to sign Bryce Harper.
Yeah, right.
That's why you had to call him Middleton.
Yeah, all right. I'll get on my plane. I'll get some cigars. We'll go down to Cancun for a little bit. We'll talk it out, and bam, 3 days later, he's a Philly.
Okay, would we put that 3, or would we put Jalen Reagor 3? Unless, Greg, you have a third that we could put 3.
I want to hesitate on Jalen Reagor just because I think that's a little too recent. And I just don't want to be caught in the moment of hatred. Because there's a lot.
It feels so good to be, though, Greg. It feels good to be caught in the moment of hatred.
I always kind of wish Tommy was on for this one, but you can make an argument the Ryan Howard extension was up there as well, especially knowing how it worked out, right? I mean, but I guess it kind of ties into
handcuffed you.
It kind of ties into what you kind of want when you went off on your when you listed your group, right? Like holding on to all those guys too long.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe we could just group that in.
Do you blame Ruben for going all in, right? And holding on for so long, or because that's what the Ryan Howard deal was, right? So Ryan Howard was just, you had to, you arguably had to give him the money at the time, but then what happened? He got hurt like the next year, and it was a disaster, right?
And then we sucked for 7 years, and now here we are.
I would
4
bundle
years
it.
In the Harper, no playoffs.
I would bundle it, Greg. I would just say like the plan of 2012, but to your point, the extension was before he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I can't even bundle it.
And the extension came, I'm pretty sure it was 2 years before he was even up for an extension.
I know this is probably not going to make the top 5, but if we're talking extensions, I think Alshon Jeffrey's extension should be an honorable mention at least.
Yeah, it's tough for me. No, I think you're absolutely right. I think you're in a spot where it's good. Honorable mention 6-7 area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because in the NFL, you could always get out of a contract, right? There's always ways to get out of NFL contracts. There's no way to get out of MLB contracts.
Yeah.
No. And the contract was 5 years, $125 million.
Shoo.
That could keep the first baseman in Philadelphia through 2017.
Wow.
Was the deal. With a club option in 2016.
And that was signed 2 years prior to him even
sniffing
the open
So
market.
It went up. So it was 25 million per year.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the second highest contract behind A-Rod, who was on a 10-year deal that year, which was making 27.5.
I don't, and a lot of people have said this, not just Don. I don't agree with the Wentz contract.
I don't agree with it either.
It was going to happen. There was no scenario where it wasn't going to happen.
It was going to happen, and just when the signing happened, it was at the right time before those contracts explode because, leading up to Carson's extension, everybody's saying, who's going to be the next $200 million quarterback? And some people thought, hey, maybe Carson was going to be the guy. Maybe Dak Prescott was going to be the guy. But it just happened to be Patrick Mahomes who set that market up to be a very valuable quarterback. So at the time, it was a smart move. But unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way.
Yeah, I would go Ryan Howard. I would go Ryan Howard just because of the fact of the situation that transpired. You know what I mean? Like everything that happened. Like you took too long to move to move Howard, to move Rollins, and to move Utley, and then obviously there was 5 to 6 years of just dreaded baseball in the city of Philadelphia after them guys.
I will. All right, so we'll put that 3.
I mean, even to go full circle on that, right? You took too long to move Jim Thome to allow Ryan Howard to take over.
Yeah, but I don't think that had any ill effects on his career.
No, but when we talk about the longevity side of it, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and some of that, right? Which again kind of makes, to some people this contract to be out of whack, right? You know what I mean?
So do we all agree we put that 3? Because there's some other ones like the Tobias comes up, the Rager comes up, and I think we got to go back to the well with the Al Horford signing. Like there's a lot of, I think, options that are fighting for 4 and 5 here.
Al Horford, I'm good leaving off just because we were able to get out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And again, kind of, the argument with him on the other one, he was only here for a minute. You know what I mean? And then we were able to get out of it.
If he was still here, I think he would arguably be like 2. You know what I'm saying?
Disagree.
If we were still stuck with it.
Don't disagree there.
But you're right.
He's probably still sucking ass.
Oh yeah, he's doing it. Yeah, he's averaging 6 points in Boston. Because you're right, we're only really stuck with him for that one season, and that one season was the bubble.
It's a shame too, because like I don't want to keep bubbling, but you could almost just put Howie Roseman draft blunders.
Yeah,
it's
4. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
It's tough because then he has some really good ones on the side.
But then you got to figure out, which, especially during his time in Philadelphia, of course, Andy had a say in some of those picks as well. So what can you determine which was a Howie pick, which one was an Andy pick? And
well, here you go.
We know the Chip Kelly draft.
Trading Deshaun Watson or Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy.
All right, so
cutting
the Chip Kelly trade.
Yeah.
Getting rid of him.
Kelly's reign of
that's
terror.
on here. 100%. That's on here. That's 4.
All right. Yep, I agree.
100%.
Chip Kelly's head scratching moves. There you go.
No, Chip Kelly takes control because that was the year. But
let's be specific. D Jackson, Shady.
Yeah.
Because those are the 2 big ones.
No,
Because
number 5.
and kind of same thing. Without Chip Kelly, you probably don't have Lane Johnson and Fletcher Cox.
No.
I mean,
number 5 now.
Well, wasn't Lane Johnson?
Was Lane the end of? Was Lane the end of Andy?
Lane was the end of Andy.
Zach Ertz is who you're thinking. Zach Ertz, right?
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Lane and Zach Ertz were the same draft, but I believe Howie was still the GM because Chip didn't get full control until that 2015 season.
Yeah,
because Howie drafted Marcus Smith and Jordan Matthews that following year, and that was the year where Chip decided to put Howie in a broom closet, and we all know what happened there.
Just because he's on my screen right now, Shane Gostisbehere extension.
Yeah, literally had to give up picks just for the Arizona to take them.
Andrew Bynum.
Think about that. Yeah, we'll give you the player, but.
We'll give you a player and picks.
And picks.
Just so you take him.
The amount of people in the chat screaming at us, Bynum. We get the Bynum thing was bad. But again, if you guys were listening at the beginning, we were talking about how we also don't have Embiid without Bynum. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad move. It was a historically bad move. I mean,
it's got to be. It's got to be on there.
It's probably 5, but everyone's like, oh, how is it not 1?
So what do we have right now? The worst moves.
So we have the Markelle Fultz, Nolan Patrick, Ryan Howard, Chip Kelly.
Yeah, throw Bynum.
I have a wild card.
I mean, realistically, again, the Ryan Howard, we potentially with these right here, we could probably take that off. I mean, there's these other ones are.
I can't take the Ryan. Dude, that's that.
Yeah.
I throw Bynum on there because
Andrew Bynum.
Yeah,
because let's be real. If obviously hindsight's 20/20, but he's getting that money. It was just when to me, it was just when it was done.
What was your wild card, Frank?
Trading for Rasmus Ristolainen, but I hated that move.
Small. Yeah, it's too small.
I know it's too small, too early, and it's not working well. And Ristolainen stinks.
And the whole team stinks, Frank.
I know.
Yeah, it's just a mute point.
Yeah.
All right, so before we head off, we're done with that, right? We got 5?
Yeah.
Okay. For everybody
what else did you have, Ralph? You had some good ones.
No, that was just my 5 that I had written down.
I had a couple other ones too, but there was Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson, the lack of moves at the trade deadline for the Phils. Another one that still stings, trading Mikal Bridges.
Oh, God, we didn't put Reagor on here.
Yeah, but we have Reagor on the hated list, though.
Put Reagor 3, take Howard off.
I don't know. I might ask the chat. Chat, who should be on this list? The Howard contract or Reagor?
We can put Howard in the honorable mention with Alshon. 2 guys that you kind of had to sign, whether they turned out to be good or not.
Because the one argument I would make with the Ryan Howard extension, while it hurt for years, you can make the argument that it made sense at the time because you didn't extend a guy with a broken leg.
No,
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
and
It just happened.
You're absolutely right, and that's why I said I wish I would have brought it up before Tommy bounced, because I know Tommy probably would have had that same argument. You know what I mean? And I would have loved to hear his take on it.
The regular one,
because you're right. And to me, and where I always stand on this is it was just too early, right? You signed it 2 years before you had to. Granted, you were always going to do it, so I guess it didn't really matter in hindsight because you were always going to make the deal, right? So kind of like the Alshon, right? Kind of like Alshon. That was more of a, hey, thank you for coming here on a 1-year deal. Here's your 3-year extension that you probably are going to suck towards the end of it, but we're okay.
The reason why I would put Rager over Howard, and a lot of the chat saying JJ, I'll get to that in a second, why I don't think it's above Rager.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys disagree, but unlike the Ryan Howard move, which in theory made sense in real time, except for a couple of our friends, one being you'll see him tomorrow night, it didn't make sense for anybody in real time. It didn't make sense before, didn't make sense during, and it doesn't make sense
after. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, no.
So like we knew
three Rager draft.
Yeah. And fam, I would not put JJ Arcega-Whiteside while he sucks and he's a non-entity. I would not put him over Rager because one's a first round pick, one's a second. And I get it, like, oh, DK Metcalf, you should have taken him. As much as I'm pissed that you didn't get him, they actually had a legitimate reason why, and that was the medical reports. Wow, and on the flip side, it's like, okay, of course you're going to trust the team doctors now, but they actually had a legitimate reason. If you're a football guy, there's no reason to take Rager over Jefferson.
Yeah.
None. Point blank, end of story. Zero. And as much as we hate him now and we think he stinks, Arcega-Whiteside did fit the mold for what we needed. And that was a big-bodied receiver that can take over after Alshon. Some people tried comparing Rager to freaking Tyreek Hill and some other people that I won't name.
All right, so yeah, number 3 is drafting Rager over JJ, Jay Jetta, Chip Kelly's Reign of Terror, and Andrew Bynum trade. Yep, cool. I'm good with that. I like that.
So I will give everybody a recap on the result of all of our lists. And also, fam, if you're watching us after we go live, if you're watching on the playback, feel free to comment in some things you missed or some things you think we missed or some revisions, by all means. So we started off with the
honorable mention, Carter Richards trade. Yes. Alshon. That's sad. That's sad, right?
Like Sam Hinkie.
Yes. That's the NBA's fault. F you.
Most anticipated.
Why do you think I don't watch the NBA anymore?
Well, a lot of reasons.
Very true.
Most anticipated Philly debuts, we went Harden 1, T.O. 2, Harper 3, the 4 aces of 2011, Phillies 4, and Joel Embiid after the endless wait for him 5. Biggest what-if scenarios in Philadelphia sports since 2000, we went Wentz doesn't tear his ACL against the Rams, and pretty much every other bone in his knee, for that matter. Ben Simmons is actually what he was supposed to be. 2, Kawhi Leonard doesn't do what Kawhi Leonard does in Game 7. Allen Iverson actually gets some help and the Phillies do not collapse figuratively, pitching, literally, Ryan Howard in 2011. However you want to order that, by all means. It's just a bundle of suck for us for that 5th one. Most hated Philadelphia athletes. We went Simmons 1, shocker. Jalen Rager 2, Al Horford and the entire family 3. Scott Rowland 4, and the artist formerly known as 5. We will not name him 5.
And let's throw our asterisk in there on 5. This panel, even with Tommy, Noah, and Nate, do not agree that we all dislike 5. We love 5.
Yes.
But this city hates 5.
Yes.
This city hates 5.
And then finally, the best moves since 2000, we went 2017 Eagles off season and everything that falls into it, from LeGarrette Blount to Patrick Peterson,
whatever.
Yeah. to Chris Long. Then you had the development of the
And Nick
core
Foles.
four. And Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
I just wanted to hear you say his name, by the way. That's why I left him out. The development of the core four, hashtag Ed Wade as number 2. The acquisition of Malcolm Jenkins 3. Drafting Joel Embiid 4. And Ben Simmons getting the hell out of here 5. And finally, which I'm sure you guys just saw because it's the most recent one we did, the Markelle Fultz reign of terror 1. The Nolan Patrick headache, even though Ralphie thinks he's a great player 2. Nothing, Ralphie? Nothing?
I'm just going to sit here and just let you go.
Okay. Your silence tells me that I'm correct in that notion. Number 3, the Ryan Howard extension pre-missing of a leg. Number 4.
We went with Rieger. It just wasn't updated.
Author.
Wow.
We did go Rieger. Come on now. Come on. I was on a roll. Yeah. Come on now.
Jalen Rieger.
Fix it.
I'm fixing it. Damn it.
Figure it out. I was on a roll too, Ralphie.
Yeah, you were rolling. You were in a
shots
groove.
in.
And then Frank just...
Whatever.
He said, "Oh, you guys are happy? Hold my beer." Anyway, Jalen Rieger over Justin Jefferson. Number 3. Chip Kelly's reign of terror, unless you're Greg 4. And then that Andrew Bynum trade, number 5. Fam, this was fun.
Yes, it was. Gotta do it more often.
Well, hopefully we don't have to, because the last time we did these shows was quarantine.
We didn't have sports.
Listen, hey, if baseball doesn't figure it out, we might have some.
Yeah,
might have some of these. This might be our summer content.
Definitely in the summer. Shit.
We just got to pray the Sixers make it to June. God, save us some time. But fam, we all know what Friday is. Greg, are you seriously not watching? By the way, we gotta have a discussion.
Let me clarify something.
Yeah, because I feel like you need to. You've been getting a lot of ricochet shots.
Let me clarify this with this not watching. I'm in Florida, so I haven't watched a lot of Sixers since I've been down here anyway. Okay, I only have one TV. I don't have my collection of TVs. I have to stream all the Sixers. So there's a lot of times that I don't watch the Sixers anyway, just because there's other things to do, or my parents are watching something and I'm watching something with them. So I maybe caught a game a week anyway. So it's not like I was dialed into every game like I would be at home. So I'm going from like one game a week to no games a week.
Ralphie, you know what I hear right now?
What do you hear?
A lot of excuses.
Jesus.
Not willing to sacrifice, which is very similar to a former 25 that we had in this city. Seeing a lot of similarities.
It's
all right.
That's it.
So what about, all right, let me ask you this. Because when we get in the playoffs, there's no excuse. Nationally televised.
I might catch them. Those are really the only times I really did watch them, was national televised, or those few times where they played Orlando and they're on TV.
You give me headaches. Oh, yeah. I might catch them. If I'm not watching, I don't know. What else you watching?
We watch a lot of shows down here. We watch a lot of shows. NCIS, we watch a lot. FBI's, that's on Tuesdays.
You even have a damn thing.
Oh, I do. But,
So what you give me headaches.
We watch a lot.
Headaches.
I'd rather, and right now, I'd rather watch college basketball than NBA basketball any day of the week.
Well, it's like the freaking Royal Rumble with Juwan Howard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Must see TV.
They won the night in their first game without Juwan Howard.
Listen, I mean, I feel like Ralphie will be watching more Sixers games because, I mean, his Lakers team, I mean, I don't know how long they'll exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be
come to an end.
He's going to be searching for some programming.
Couldn't happen to a better group of guys.
Now, Ralphie, just dumb question before. I just meant to ask you this off air, but I'll do it on air just because we're here. Is LeBron a free agent this offseason?
In 23. 23.
Okay, can he force a trade this summer?
I think.
You really want me to never watch Sixers ever again?
I'm not sure.
I'm just asking. I never said six. Did I say Sixers? Ralph, did I say Sixers?
No, you just said four straight.
A lot of assuming going down there, bottom left.
I'm telling you, you want me to never watch the Sixers ever again?
A lot of NCIS programming.
Oh yes. put my two most hated players in NBA history on my team and watch me never watch a game again.
If we won a championship with those two in Philly, would you still go to the parade?
I would, because I owe it to myself for sitting through those process years. Yes. Okay. But I will turn my back when their buses come around.
Don, we'll end with this: over my cold dead body. It's the biggest freaking Ponzi scheme. Oh, I know my son's not any good and he's a borderline second round talent. So I'm just gonna put out feelers that, hey, if somebody drafts Bronny, they'll get me too when I'm 50. I see right through him, Ralphie. I see right through bro. You got to admit that's a little cringe.
He's already plotting.
He's trying to he's like LeVar Ball, but like louder. Like, I'm going to get my sons in the league.
And more illegal because he's currently playing.
Yeah. Like, I'll go to Cleveland. I'll go to Cleveland if you draft my son.
And by the way,
it's probably not even going to be. It's probably not even going to be Cleveland.
Bronny's going to be a lottery pick. By the way,
it's going to be OKC. They have 4 first rounders.
What the hell are you saying down there?
He's going to be a lottery pick.
For what?
By the time he's draft eligible, he'll be a lottery pick.
So you hate the father, but you love the son?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying I love him.
Spirit.
I'm just saying what's going to happen. He's going to be a lottery pick at the end of the day.
Yeah, he'll be one and done in college too.
He doesn't have to be.
I don't see him.
He doesn't have to be. That year he's coming out of college.
Right.
Out of high
that
school,
is right.
It's the first year they're allowed to go right to the league again.
I'm getting sick to my stomach.
Then he's got to make some noise at Sierra Canyon, though. He's got to win a state championship.
What you don't realize is high school basketball does not matter. Does not matter to scouts. It's all about the AAU and the summer ball and the showcase circuits. That's all it is. High school ball does not matter as much as it used to anymore. Because of the level of especially at the showcase level of AAU basketball, of that level of play, high schools don't matter. High school just doesn't matter like it used to. And plus, it's not like they're playing in the Delco County League, right? You know what I mean? It's not like they're playing on ESPN every other night. Like they're playing the best high school teams across the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just played the number 1 team in Illinois the other night.
So it's not like they're playing, a bunch of jocks over in Delco or South Jersey. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Where they get easy wins and get pad the stats.
And just full transparency, I'm rooting for the kid. Like, I have nothing against him. I have a lot against the father, but I have nothing against him. So I'm like, yeah, if he becomes a lottery pick, by all means. I just hate the throw in. Oh, if you draft my son, you get me.
It's a crock of shit.
Because he's making because then what he's going to do, he's going to end up making his son's moment about him. Because the storyline's going to be up. Orlando Magic, Greg's favorite team, drafts Bronny James. Up, does that mean we're going to get the big duo of father and son? Like, it's not even going to be about the kid.
So it's going to be like the Griffey show when him and his dad played together on, what was it, Seattle, correct?
Yeah, but they played in Seattle for a year or two.
Yeah, but there's no collusion, at least.
Yeah, but he was already in the system. You know what I mean? It's not like
they did it the right way, Ralphie.
Yeah, they were already together.
They're not begging, hey, take my son 4 years before you can even be eligible.
They're not colluding and arguably running the NBA.
Again, I would get it if somebody, like if he was like 32, right? If this is 32-year-old Bron, how old is he going to be in 3 years? 4 years?
90.
40. He's 37 now.
I've had enough. Fam, shout out to our main sponsor who brings us every Wednesday night show. And that's BetUS, the leading online sportsbook who has been in the market for 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S., and that means anywhere in the U.S., which is big.
Even in Florida.
Big. Even in Florida. And you can bet it on anything and everything, right, Frank? You said you were dabbling last week in some ponies, some Bachelor action? Or no, that was Chrome.
That was
Chrome
Chrome
bad.
with The Bachelor. I don't even watch that show.
But you're doing the
That
pony.
was
You were doing the ponies.
I did not do the ponies yet. I'm waiting for Derby season.
But you were looking into some ponies.
I'm looking into the ponies.
Come on, Frank, play along here
Come
a little
on,
bit.
Like I'm trying to do a
We're
read.
trying to do a read here,
I'm
bud.
fighting for my life here. It's 12:37. It's 12:37. But anyway, fam, it's in the YouTube link. It's in the description wherever you're finding us. It's in the description on Facebook. Just click the link and you get 125% sign up bonus. You're getting your money right back, and then you can make some more with us. And also, you're supporting A2D, which we appreciate you guys for doing. Epic Eagle says, "Great show tonight, guys." Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Epic.
Don asking if you're a basketball scout. Boy, what does this world come to if he is? Greg, basketball scout?
I've thought it before.
That's for another show. I can't do this anymore. I can't. We'll be going until it's 2 a.m. But
I left it quick.
No, I appreciate you. For Tom Arnone, for Ralph Delavecchio, for Nate Moss, for Noah Eaton, for Frank Vespi, for Greg Milankovic, I'm Ryan Brodo. Stay tuned tomorrow. You've got Birds of a Feather, I believe. Yeah, Birds of a Feather.
Birds of a Feather at 8:30 and Pro Fan Talk at 7.
Yes. And then I would imagine the guys on A2D Fan Friday will be doing live reactions of the Harden debut.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that, fam. We've got a couple more nights until the first day of the rest of our lives. Well, except for Ralphie, because he's still in the mud with the Lakers.
2 more days till Christmas, fellas.
Well, for us, not for you. Again, you have no attachments to him. Okay? You got that?
Yeah.
Okay. Glad we have that understanding. Later, fam.